What's up, Thumpers? Welcome back to another episode of Hyper Heroes here on Hyper RPG. We already did this, but you missed it because YouTube is a piece of garbage.
But thank you to Lucas for catching it. Thank you, Lucas, for fixing it.
You also
Papa
made
Lucas.
Matt's epic slide-in of the French fries, which are now magically here on the table.
You guys can have some,
but,
otherwise I'm going to eat them all.
Yeah, otherwise the dogs are going to jump on the table because I'm sure they can smell them.
You know who else was magically here?
You?
Sam Bashor, ladies and gentlemen.
What's up,
Sam?
Sam?
Nice.
Our only
friend.
stupid answers. Thank you so much for being here.
It's
Thank
my
you.
one trick.
Yeah. And we're good. Everybody is
Everyone's
saying
here.
we're good.
Here we
Here.
go. Yeah,
Sam, you've already noticed some crossover audience?
Yeah.
Where's the wombat? Mighty Wombat.
Mighty
hello.
Wombat.
Is a little for you. And I hope you enjoy me eating this French fries.
You were saying before we got interrupted by how
Yeah.
shitty YouTube is, because
Yes.
YouTube's a piece of shit. You were saying one of the best things about what we get to do is...
Well, yeah, one of the best things that we get to do is, for years I watched SourceFed. Sam was on SourceFed, and I was like, man, I love this group of people. I would love to be able to work with these people someday. And now you're here.
Now
And
we-
now
yeah,
this is so damn cool.
We know them.
I know, it's so weird.
Well, no, it's
They're
cool
good people.
because I get to see your guys' stuff pop up all the time, and your stuff's beautiful, and you guys have such a good energy. So I'm excited to be here and
Nice.
talk about nerdy stuff.
Oh, God,
Awesome.
Sam.
Thank you
I
so
You guys
much,
know.
are
I was
man.
about
good
to
at
cry.
home. This is
About to
good.
cry.
This is
Shout out
good.
to Maurice Barlow, San Diego in the house.
It's good juju.
Good juju. I
Good
feel
Juju
it.
around here.
What
How was
else?
your
Good
Comic-Con?
San Diego.
We saw you for like a hot minute at the DC activation.
Yeah, for just
Yeah.
a second.
Yeah, for
just
literally
a second.
1 second.
Yeah.
You had
was
a good
pretty
con,
crazy,
though?
right?
Good con?
Good con.
Did you
Yeah.
go in that swamp thing, swamp?
I did. It was
Watch out for the bayou. The swamp thing gonna get you.
that dude is my favorite
It
memory
was
from
the
the con.
best. We recorded a video. I gotta find it. We gotta put some of it online. But before we get going, we're gonna watch some trailers. We're gonna watch a trailer for Bumblebee and Dark Phoenix, the X-Men-less X-Men movie.
Okay.
We're gonna talk about Birds of Prey. Before we do that, though, I want to let you guys know we are having a hyperdrive this Saturday, not on Sunday. It's on Saturday this month, starting at noon. It's a musical-themed hyperdrive. We've got 10 candles. We've got Disney villains. It's a whole bunch of stuff, so make sure you guys tune in. We're also going to be doing water balloons like we normally do. It's a good old time. If you're free on Saturday,
Hector, are you
going to
be
Let
in
me
our-
know.
Are you
It's a
going to
fun
be in
shit
any
show.
RPGs? Are you going to bring your Jack Black?
It's his
to the
birthday
table?
It's his birthday.
I know.
Oh, yeah, I can't. I know I
Happy
can't.
birthday.
And we're prepping because we're leaving for.
That's
Thank you
true.
so much, Sam. I appreciate it. Because we're leaving for Europe. That like we have been working every day this week,
Yeah.
so that Saturday a lot of like the Europe trip prep falls
Yeah.
on Saturday. So Abby and I are gonna go like do last rounds of like we got to go to REI and get some like
Some
Universal
stuff,
plugs
yeah.
and some some last minute bullshit.
Yeah.
And so we can only do it Saturday. So unfortunately
Okay.
I can't. But
Okay.
I have some plans for if not next hyperdrive, next hyperdrive.
Christmas.
Because next one's gonna be spooky.
Yeah,
Spooky.
Because of the
Halloween.
Halloween
Yeah.
hyperdrive.
The spoopy
I
drive.
don't like spooky stuff. I don't know if I could do spooky stuff.
I
Oh,
can step
okay.
in
That.
if
You want
need.
to? You want to step? You want to do
Wait,
some
wait,
spooky
look.
stuff, Sam?
I love spooky
Look
stuff.
what Mighty Wombat just did.
Oh, you're beautiful.
Sam, you beautiful man. Hope you enjoyed that French fry.
He's delicious.
Thank you, Mighty Wombat.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was your birthday the day before yesterday. Happy
It was.
birthday.
Thank you so much.
We should have had a big goddamn cake.
Do you
Why
know how
didn't
many
we?
people like saw me the next day, and then today, and they were like,
And bought you
"Hey,
cake?
happy birthday! Hey, I saw that Iron Giant you
Yup.
got." Like so
That
many
is
people were
dope.
like, they were like, "That was awesome." I'm like,
Yeah,
yeah. That's what most
is
people
that
have been
thing?
saying.
Oh, yeah. I was literally about to bring it up, too.
Dude, it's so cool.
How big is it? What is?
It's the Mondo limited, like,
Yeah.
the
It's like
limited.
12 inches?
Yeah,
Or
it's, like,
12
it's bigger than
it's
that.
like this
12
big.
inches?
yeah,
Dope.
it's like 16 inches.
It's like this big, and it's got a little tiny Hogarth,
Yeah.
and his eyes light up, and he speaks.
How many
and-
phrases does he have? Just I'm
I
not a
feel
guy.
like 5 to 7.
Oh, nice.
Well, like my favorite ones are like he says, "Guns kill," and then at one point he says, "I am not a gun." I'm like,
that's
my
it.
dude.
You just start crying.
My man.
no, because he does say. He says like "I go, you stay,"
Oh,
and then another
Jesus
phrase
Christ.
is "No."
Getting a little-
Yeah,
I would
No.
never.
Oh.
another
little
phrase
misty.
is "No following." So I'm like,
Oh, God.
I can't.
You're
I
just
can't
gonna
do
If you
it.
want to cry yourself to sleep,
He comes. He
press
has.
that button.
He's got some accessories. He has like a. You can change out his head to where he gets the evil. He's like the red eyes.
Yeah. Where he turns into a gun.
Yeah, and he has like sharp teeth. He has like
Yeah.
chompy teeth. You can pull out one of his arms and it has that thing that comes up and goes. That thing.
Yeah.
And then he also has this little like. He has like a thing he can crunch on from like the power plant, like a
Yeah.
little piece
Oh,
you can put in his
yeah,
mouth.
yeah,
Right.
That he eats metal. But then there's like a whole thing that's the seafood sign display, like the whole seafood sign that
Really?
you can detach the S and put it onto his chest and there's a little magnet.
Oh,
Dude, he can wear
my
the
God.
S from
But
the
does he
seafood.
say
Yes,
Superman?
because he goes. One of his phrases is "No Atomo." And then I think another phrase, you have to prompt him and be like, then who are you? And then he's like, I am Superman or Superman.
Yeah,
he goes,
yeah.
Superman, I think.
I would
think he says it.
always have him in that pose,
Dude.
just no matter what.
But right now I have him holding a Hogarth like
oh,
this.
that one's pretty good too.
Because Hogarth has his little
Yeah.
legs folded and he's like
Yeah.
looking up. So,
This sounds incredible.
dude,
Yeah,
it's
this
Can
toy
Abby
is-
buy some for us, please?
I know, right?
It's mind blowing. I think it was very expensive.
Oh, I think they are.
because it's like
Yeah.
sold out.
I've been following one on Amazon. It's selling for $1,600.
Are you serious?
Abby did not pay that
No,
price.
she did not.
No,
No,
she
she
did
did
not.
not.
Pay. But that's how
she-
expensive they can get.
Wow.
She told me, I think we went to Disneyland like a few weeks ago, and she told me that she had visited our friend Eric. You guys know Eric Calderon. He's the animation guy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
She
yeah.
visited his place because he was having a get-together or something, had some friends over, and,
And
he has
had
it.
one. Yeah,
So she
yeah.
was looking at it, and she was like, fuck, this thing is really cool. And she knows how much I like it. So then she said when we went to Disneyland, she was on eBay bidding on one as we're going to Disneyland, and I'm an idiot. And then she said...
You're eating that purple churro.
I was like, oh, I like this place. And she's over here just like trying to get this shit.
Damn,
And
bid,
then
bid.
she got outbidded, so she was like mad at Disneyland, and I had no idea. So then she said she actually went and found one where a guy was
Yeah.
selling it for not an exorbitant amount of money,
Yeah.
brand new.
Yeah.
And she was asking me too after I opened it because she knows I'm a toy person. She was like, "Okay, like they don't make this anymore. Like why? What's the deal?" And I was like, "Yeah, it's like out of print. I
Right.
don't know if Mondo will ever do it again. I don't know if they will like." Keep their license, and I don't know if another company years from now will just be like, okay, you know what? Actually, we have the license for the Iron Giant, and we're gonna do like an action figure, and it
Yeah.
would probably look similar because the Mondo thing is like it's apparently taken from actual scans
Yeah.
of the CG
That's why
character,
it's
so it's
so
supposed
good.
to be
Yeah.
like very authentic. So I'm explaining to Abby, I'm like, well, like you can't just get this toy anymore. It like sold out.
Right.
That's why it's expensive now. Will there never be another toy? Again, no. Somebody will probably do something like this at some
So
point.
she was literally talking
but-
to you about it, and you had no idea.
No. She asked me all this after I opened it.
Oh, okay.
Then
okay.
she proceeded to be like,
Gotcha,
"Why is this
gotcha.
toy such a
Yeah,
big deal?"
yeah, yeah.
I mean, she thought it was awesome and she
Yeah.
got it from me, but she was like,
She
again,
didn't
so
realize what she was
what,
getting
like,
herself
what
into.
does the Mondo thing mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Like, where can you get it? I'm like, you can't get it in stores. It's just so like it's all sold
Yeah.
out.
You also
now.
got a little present from overseas.
we doing this
didn't
right
you?
now?
Yeah, let's do it now.
Shout out to Ash Dogra in the UK because I don't know.
Does Sam know?
Sam?
Does Sam know our obsession about 3D movies?
No. Do you want to explain that?
I do see your tweets about them. I know that you have a love for them. No, you mentioned it on our podcast.
I
You
did.
mentioned it. Yeah,
I did.
So
I did.
is this about that?
Yes.
Yeah. So Adam, do you want to fill him in on the saga here? Like
Yeah.
I got
Open it up,
this.
Hector.
The
This
Avengers
is-
Infinity War Blu-ray in 3D from the United Kingdom.
Not
Because
available
you
in the
can't
US.
get it here.
This is
Disney
not.
and Warner Brothers have stopped producing 3D Blu-rays. Well, Warner Brothers does, but Disney has. Disney
I had
has
to
stopped.
import this. I had to
Yeah.
wait. Everybody was watching
Hector and
Infinity
I
War
are
when
the
it
two
came
dummies
out,
who pay extra money to import Blu-rays.
so that we could see it in 3D.
Yeah.
And when I got the guy on eBay and I told him, hey, when you get this, if it's possible, can you please also send the slipcover, which is the little cardboard thing that
Because
goes
they're
over
the
Blu-rays.
best.
I'm like, if you can get it. And so he's like, sure, I'll look out for it. He tried to like hook me up. Weeks go by, and when he gets his order, he's like, hey, man, bad news. It didn't come with it. So if that's cool, I can just ship it tomorrow. And I was like, sure, no problem. So then I went on eBay, or I went on Twitter, and I went, hey, movie nerds, I need your help. This guy who I bought this thing off of, sending it to me without the slipcover. Does anybody have a slipcover they don't want?
Yeah.
And this dude on Twitter was like, yeah, I'll send you mine.
Oh,
Is that
that's
amazing?
awesome.
That is
Ash
amazing.
Dogra.
That's the power of the internet,
Ash,
folks.
he sent it to me, and he goes, yeah, if I keep it, my 2-year-old's just going to chew it up anyway. And I was like, dude,
Gimme,
thank
gimme,
you.
gimme, gimme.
So
Yeah.
here it is.
Boom.
Wow.
Ooh, legit the one you want. Oh my god.
Oh, it feels so good.
Ba, ba-da-da, ba. Oh my god, now it is complete.
Baby's in the crib.
Ooh. Now it's
Baby's in the crib. Yeah.
Come on.
Now it's complete. Now
Baby's
it's
in the
complete.
crib. Now it's a complete set.
That's right.
Yep.
Fuck
Here's
yeah.
the thing. Hector and I are probably the only two people
Who care?
like 2 or 3 people in LA who care. 1, 2 have 3D TVs.
Yes.
I'm lucky enough that mine's 4K and 3D, so I can use both.
Cool.
Wow.
Hector's all about fuck 4K, but
Yeah, I hate it.
Yeah.
Dude,
Sorry.
it's so funny because going on Twitter, when I described my dumb non-problem, there were a couple movie nerds in the UK that were like, "Oh, that's messed up. Let me see what I can do. I'll get back to you." They're like, "That's fucked up, dude. Let me help." Like they understood the struggle. So this is
Boom.
pretty awesome. So
Yep.
thank you so much, Ash, if you're watching. And I'm
Blu-ray
gonna-
assembled.
What?
Thank God.
Finally.
How good that looked. Look how much better that looks than this bullshit.
See, you know what I do? I import the steelbooks.
Well, yeah,
The
but
steelbooks are pretty nice and fancy.
steelbooks are great. But the reason I oppose steelbooks is just because I already uniformly have this.
I know.
Do you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
It matches the rest of them.
And there's some steelbook collectors that are like, I'll get every steelbook, and that's cool.
Yeah.
But it's also kind of doesn't match. But I have
Yeah.
a steelbook because I was forced to get a steelbook because the last Marvel movie that Disney released in 3D in
Was it a Black
Region 1,
Panther?
it was Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, only the
Oh,
Best Buy
that's right, the
edition.
Best Buy
So I
one
had to
was a
buy the
steelbook,
Best Buy
4K, 3D.
steelbook,
Yeah.
and that's the only way you could get a 3D disc of that movie in the United States and Canada.
Yeah. Aren't you glad you came on
Sorry.
our show?
No,
Sorry,
I'm super
Hector.
interested in
Sorry,
it now. It's
Hector.
like a mystery.
Yeah.
I feel like
well-
Hector and I, you and I should like do a show
Yeah.
about 3D and 4K
Yeah.
Blu-rays and
Like-
the pain of importing
Like
them.
Blu-ray collecting, yeah. I was about to say this is a whole counterculture. It's not. It's just me and Adam.
It's just us.
It's
just
like us and like one other guy in the UK. That's all it
Emily
is.
was in my room earlier and she was like, "Your monitors are 3D." I'm like, Hector and I have a sickness. We're obsessed.
I'll be
It's a
honest,
thing.
I didn't
Yeah.
know they still made 3D DVDs, but it looks awesome.
do.
Yeah.
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 They do.
No, it's good.
It's gonna look awesome.
But
Yeah.
so Sam, tell us a little bit about Only Stupid Answers. We had DJ here a couple
That's right.
months
Yeah.
ago.
Yeah,
Tell us a
months
little bit
ago.
about the podcast.
So it's the best damn podcast you could put your ears into. It's what we kind of stumbled our words through in the beginning, and we kind of just have to stick with it now. We just talk movies, TV shows, comics, video games, anything that we find interesting. But the whole point is that we answer your guys' questions, and we have a blast doing it. We have a Patreon community. We now have a Twitch show like this. It's on Thursdays as well. I literally just came from that to here, so I'm excited because I've been able to like kind of process my thoughts on like
Yeah,
this
yeah.
X-Men trailer and
Smart,
talk about it.
Cool.
But it's a blast, and you guys can just go to onlystupidanswers.com to like listen to the podcast. I have a new podcast with Trisha Hirschberger. You guys know
Yeah,
her.
we know
She's
Trisha.
great.
Yeah,
She's
yeah.
great.
It's called Hard to Say Goodbye. We're rewatching Game of Thrones from the beginning, moving our way through again. This is my second time watching the series, and now I feel smart. I get it now. I'm on board with it now. So
Yeah.
it's been a blast. So if you guys want to check that out as well,
Yeah.
I'd appreciate it.
All right.
Yeah.
Right on.
Hector, I feel like you need to address this Iron Giant.
Yeah, DK Wallcrawler, $5 says another company, Sentinel, is doing an Iron Giant figure that is die-cast, only 6 inches though,
Wow.
going for $109 on Big Bad Toy Store. That's nuts.
Damn.
I thought it was Big
109.
Bad Boy Toy Store.
Big Bad Boy
Big Bad
Store.
Boy.
Bad baby, bad baby.
Big Bag Boy Store.
Sir Joel 499, will you guys be doing a Spider-Man PS4 review? The story alone rivals the movies. And happy belated birthday, Hector.
Thank you so
Ooh.
much.
There's a few people in the house who have finished the game.
Zach.
Matt,
You have too?
Zach,
You.
you finished
Sam.
it. Yeah, I would love to do some sort of discussion about the game because I think it's more about just reviewing the game.
Right,
Because
right.
the game
Yeah.
did something so special when it comes to superheroes in video games. Period.
Yeah.
Like so many people now want Iron Man, other Avenger characters, DC characters, Superman to have this type of game.
To get a game
I think
like
there,
that,
I think
yeah.
That's
there's
tough to
some
do,
sort of like
man.
conversation that
Yeah.
can be had about that. Like, how
Well,
could you make those games work?
I don't know what else you could. I don't know. It's Insomniac that did it, right?
Yeah.
I don't know
Yeah.
what
Yeah.
other.
Can you imagine if they
let's-
did Green Lantern Corps?
That'd be amazing. But here's the diff: is that Spider-Man in New York.
Yeah.
Like everybody's loving the story, but I think the story combined with the open world New York and just web slinging,
Right,
like
right.
that's
It's
the
fun.
coolest thing.
That's
Yeah.
special on its
That's
own.
special,
Like,
so you
feeling like
can't-
you're flying through the city is
Yeah,
fantastic.
that
Yeah.
feeling, it like
Yeah.
to translate to Green Lantern, it's like too much.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Right.
To translate to Superman, it's too much because the swinging specifically is not as cool as flying, but cooler in a way.
Yeah.
So it's
It's
you
like
know,
its own
you could
thing.
do a Superman game where he's like, I gotta fly from here to Metropolis. Like, okay,
Well, I think
he'll
part of it
just
too-
he'll just do it.
I
Like
think
it's
part
not
of it too
fun.
is that like we've been on swings as kids. Like we kind of know what it feels like to swing, and it's very like you can imagine yourself with those
Yeah.
feelings.
That momentum. And like
Yeah.
I'm a big Flash fan, and I would love a Flash game, but you've played it in like a Lego Batman game or something,
Yeah.
and you runs, and it's just like blur motion.
Yeah.
Kind of like, or you have to hit a
Instantly
special
moving.
like combo, and you
Right.
just wait for it to be done, whatever
Yeah.
the thing is.
Yeah.
So it's like it doesn't quite translate. Iron Man though could be like
That
I
could
don't
be
know
cool, yeah.
the emotional beats could be the same, but you could still get the physical
Yeah.
like
Right, right,
at
right.
like part of the,
the
Spider-Man
feeling
game.
of
Yeah.
being in an Iron Man suit,
Yeah.
the feeling of flying around and
That would be fun
Yeah,
as like
man.
a VR thing too.
That would be dope.
Especially
Yeah.
if what I like is they're moving away from, and I guess the Arkham series was kind of the first to do it recently in the modern era, is like moving away from doing a movie adaptation
Right,
and just
right,
being
right.
like, and like letting the game company like do your own mythology.
Yeah.
Because if Insomniac were to get Iron Man, I would want them to do an original Iron Man story, and like in the same way you get different Spidey suits, like the suit itself evolves.
Yeah, exactly.
Have the opening be, dude, you're in the cave.
Yeah.
Like you're the Mark 1 and you're so limited, in your movement, and then you go back home and you start messing with a Mark 2 and then a Mark 3, like that would be fun, so that it even like the moves and stuff start upgrading as you do that. But that would
smart,
mean that,
yeah.
like I do not just do Robert Downey Jr. Iron Man 1, 2, and 3 movies.
Right.
Can you spit some Aussie at us?
Who's Ryan Unicomb? Is that what he's asking?
Yeah.
Oh, Ryan Unicomb from Australia says, just a message to say I love y'all. He knows. He loves the Blu-rays as well. He knows what that's all about.
You missed
He
his
imports
comment.
his from America.
What did he say? He imports his from the
You missed
U.S.?
his comment, but he was nearly about to send you his version of his
man.
3D Blu-ray.
Oh,
thing.
really?
So, yeah.
Thank you.
There's
Thanks,
a lot of tips coming today.
Tons
Wow.
of tips.
They
coming
could treat
today.
$5 for knowing Ranter. They could treat the game as the equivalent of I missed it. Matt,
The
you're gonna have to
equivalent of
read it
MCU
back
and
to us.
DC has potential too. So basically,
DLC?
saying that it could come
Yeah.
all across. Yeah. Oh, there's another one.
Thank you, Joshua. Oh, another
Vandershaf.
Australia. Oh, come on, Hector.
Oh.
You got to read it.
Good day from Australia, guys. And Hector, I could listen to you talk about 3D for hours. That was terrible.
Sorry,
so
Matt. I
bad.
missed that one.
So bad.
And Ali Hassan just gave us a bro fist.
That's awesome.
And $10.
yeah,
so
there
thank
it
you
is.
so much.
Oh, they could treat the game as the equivalent of Iron Man to the MCU. Tons of DLC potential too.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Thank
very
you.
true. That's very true.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah,
Yeah, can you imagine having 45 different suits that you could upgrade?
that
to?
would be
That's
dope.
crazy.
All for special occasions.
Yeah, that would be
And you
nuts.
could get sequences where like it flies in, it like
Yeah.
builds on you and
Yeah.
stuff.
Oh shit,
Exactly.
I'm into that.
Yeah. I like the VR aspect where you could be looking
That would be
through,
cool.
like,
I
what
played
does
Batman
Tony
Arkham.
see on the other side of that
Yeah,
AI?
right?
We don't know.
Yeah.
We
I saw
don't know.
Batman in we did Batman Arkham in VR, and that was
Yeah.
sick. You
That
like
was
walk
pretty
up to the thing, you put your hand into it, and you turn into Batman. I was like, this will never happen in real
Yeah.
life. So I'll take this moment. Thank you.
Oh, Smiling Tone, $4.99.
Oh, what's up, buddy?
It's
Just
our
wanna
buddy
say
Smiling
Feliz
Tone.
cumpleaños to that beautiful man, Hector.
Thank you so
Also,
much.
happy welcome to the Tubular Sam and gang. Have a fun time out of the country.
Also,
Aw.
happy birthday to Smiling Tone. You guys share birthdays, Hector.
Oh, that's awesome.
yeah.
Aw.
Yeah.
Smiling
birthday.
it's
Tone.
your birthday on
Happy
25th
birthday.
too? That's
Birthdays.
awesome,
Yeah,
man.
it's-
Happy
it's
birthday.
his birthday
That's
as well,
great.
so.
Yeah, so as he mentioned, we're going to be out of the country from October 3rd to October 16th. We're going to be in Prague, Berlin, and Budapest. We're going to be doing some live streaming. The live stream will be happening on Twitch, twitch.tv/hyperrpg. Lucas is coming with us.
Yep.
So expect Lucas and I to have a good time while we're there.
Yeah.
Drink all of Europe's
That's right.
alcohol.
All beer in
Hector
Europe.
hopefully will not try to keep up.
No,
Because we all know what happened last time he did that. Happy birthday. But yeah, we'll be gone for 2 weeks when we come back. If we hear good things about Venom, there's a potential that we might do some sort of a meetup in Prague and go to the movies
Yeah.
and hopefully
That
not
could be
suffer
fun.
for 2 hours.
Maybe.
We'll see.
Maybe.
But it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Pine Hills Outdoors says, thanks for being such an impediment to sleep. Thumbs up.
Hey, you're very welcome. Very welcome.
So yeah, we'll be gone for those 2 weeks. When we come back, we'll see what happens. I mean, goddamn, who knows?
Tori Flacco says, get
Get lit.
All right, calm down, Tori.
It's about
Calm
to get
down.
lit.
That's
Calm
what's
down.
going to happen.
Don't be such a
Sorry,
bad
guys.
influence. Calm down.
Tori's actually the one who suggested we get Lederhosen.
This
while
she
we're
was,
in.
yeah.
So, yeah.
Lederhosen and Mike's Jersey Mike's sandwiches.
Ooh.
Ooh, what a combo.
Yeah, right?
Mighty Wombat.
Mighty want $5 more?
Just a little
Mighty
bit more
Wombat.
money to say that I feel like a new Hulk game would work like Spider-Man. Haven't seen him since the
know
Great
what?
Ultimate Destruction. That
that
was a
might be
fun game.
cool.
PS2?
Yeah.
That was a fun
Yeah,
game.
that was a fun
Was it?
game.
Remember
Never
that?
played it.
What
You
was
were
the-
Hulk. It was like an open city, and you
And
run
you
around,
jump
smash
around,
stuff.
yeah.
What was the weird one where there was a bunch of Marvel characters that don't exist? What was,
Oh God!
no.
Like Nemesis,
Not-
Marvel
it's-
Nemesis, or
it's
something.
not Inhumans, but it's a thing
Yeah,
like
it was a fighting game.
But it was like a mystery because a bunch of Marvel heroes died. You guys know. I know you guys
I don't
know
know.
what it is.
I don't
Somebody will
know.
bring it up in the
It
chat.
was this
Yeah.
weird one that like none of the there's a roster. It is a fighting game actually, I think, but there is a story mode as well. And it's a bunch of characters that like will not exist ever again in comics in any way whatsoever.
That's so interesting.
Yeah, pull up another tab. It's I think
$5
it's
from
Marvel
the Movie Geek. I got to read this
Nemesis.
one off.
Read it.
I just wanted to say thank you for making me happy and all the stress I'm having
Oh.
in the movie industry. I believe he's a movie guy, so you're very welcome. I'm glad we're keeping you entertained. Oh my gosh.
That's a compliment.
SXMCS donated 100 pesos.
Whoa!
Yeah, so I would like to donate my left nut to watch Hector play a Spider-Man game.
Leo got it. Rise of the Imperfect.
That's what it was called.
Rise of the Imperfect.
Rise of
That's what it was.
Thank you.
Oh,
It
interesting.
scared me
Marvel
as a
Nemesis.
kid.
Rise of the Imperfects.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's good
the
stuff.
Imperfects.
Oh boy.
My God.
Yeah,
Yeah, I should
yeah.
just stream the Spider-Man game from
You
my
really
apartment.
should,
I have,
Hector.
I
You
have
should.
it there.
How much of it have you played?
About an hour and a half.
Oh, that's more than
I
I
have
more
no
than I have.
time. No time. I know.
Yeah, I know. How's your Jurassic Park doing?
It's good. My
gone to
Jurassic
shit?
Parks are good.
Gone to shit?
I've got 3 out of the 5 open, and they haven't gone to shit. No, they're good. Only a couple people died,
That's not bad.
That's it.
but I comped them like
okay.
they've got full ride scholarships. Their families, their kids.
They're all set basically. Yeah.
That
yeah.
was
Interesting.
bullshit. I got dumb.
He takes his
Dumb
Jurassic
security.
Park
Oh
very
my
I
seriously.
got a
God.
dumb security contract I shouldn't
Poor
have taken.
Hector. Hector's just mad. Now we just
on me.
made Hector mad. Let's jump in. We've got only really 2 topics to cover, and then we're going to watch some trailers.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've heard a lot of mixed things about Dark Phoenix, so I'm kind of looking forward to seeing
Oh man.
what that all entails. But before we get to that, let's talk a little bit about Birds of Prey. They announced some casting. I think this was this morning or yesterday. I don't remember.
Something like
I've
that.
kind of unplugged myself from social media for the last couple days, and I'm very happy about it because I feel like I have a little bit of a life now. But they announced that Mary Elizabeth Winstead is going to be joining the cast as Huntress, a.k.a. Helena Bertinelli. She's not playing Helena Wayne like she
No.
was in Birds of Prey, the TV show.
Yeah.
Shout out.
A mob boss, a mob boss princess who witnesses the murder of her family and becomes a vigilante to sort of avenge their death. And then Journey Smollett-Bell is going to be playing Black Canary, aka Dinah Lance.
What is she in? Because I don't know if I'm familiar with her work.
She was in Full House as a young.
Oh
kid.
my God, that is her.
Yeah.
The little girl.
That's-
She was great.
Michelle's friend.
Yo,
Yeah,
she was
Michelle's
Hey, yo, she was
friend.
better than the Olsen twins for real.
Yeah,
She was better than the Olsen twins.
Because
Good
she was like sassy. She
Good
had those
for her.
dimples, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good for that's
Good for
hilarious.
her.
Because I was looking it up because I wasn't exactly sure how to pronounce her name, so I was trying to find interviews, and then
And
it
then
was like
she's
Full
in
House,
Full
Full House.
House.
I'm like, oh shit, what? That's
Oh,
crazy.
wow.
She was like 5.
Yeah, you
Dude,
could
it's
see
such
the
a-
dimples.
It's
Yeah.
such,
She's
a,
got
it's
those
such a
dimples.
trip when you see kids from Full House and they're grown up because
Yeah.
they still
Right?
have the same face, kind
Yeah,
of.
yeah, yeah.
You know?
Just a little bit bigger.
yeah.
And then-
That's
Just a
awesome.
little
little bit
bigger.
Well, I'm really excited about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I really like Mary Elizabeth Winstead a
Same.
lot.
Mhm.
Even though I don't like the character Ramona Flowers,
Sure.
she's so great in Scott Pilgrim. I don't like Scott Pilgrim either. That's my favorite movie where the 2 protagonists are pieces of shit. I don't like either of them, but I love that movie so
I
much.
love that movie
and
so
they're both
much.
great, and so
Yeah.
she's great in it. And 10 Cloverfield Lane.
So good.
Good stuff.
Shut it down.
Good
She's
stuff.
amazing.
She's amazing.
So
she was great in Grindhouse too.
yes,
in Death
she
Note.
was.
Oh, yeah.
She was
Yeah.
with
that?
with Kurt Russell. So
Yeah.
she's really cool. I liked her quote about the movie, and I'm excited that Black Canary's happening. And it's cool that she's black. And already the internet,
Of
internet
course.
got mad and started to rope in one of the most important writers who's ever worked on Black Canary, Gail Simone.
Okay, everyone
Did you
do
see
this
that?
thread too. It
Yeah.
was super interesting.
It was
yeah.
because already people were like hitting up Gail Simone, like, Gail, like, how do you feel about this? Like, it's not weird to want that character to be white, right? Like that, like, you know, isn't that important to stay close to the comic book character? And Gail Simone was just like, I don't care who she. I want the character to be, you know, treated
Character.
correctly. I want
To be Black
to
Canary,
be serviced.
yeah.
To be Black Canary. And then this person was kind of like, well, Gail Simone will tell you because she knows, like, she's blonde and she's white, and that's important. And Gail had to be like, no, you're putting words in my mouth. I did
Yeah.
not, for the record,
Yeah.
I don't care. I think it's cool that she's black. Like,
Yeah.
she had to like do that
Yeah.
because that's how
Specifically
that's how
say-
shitty the internet
Yeah.
is. Is
Yeah.
like they're like, oh, she'll tell you.
Well,
It's-
you know, I'm gonna
She's
project.
got my back.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna project myself all over her
Yes,
comments
yes.
and just talk
So-
about what she didn't say.
so she had to shut that down. So yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's and also it's just like does it. Well, she looks like she's gonna be fun and be great in the movie,
Yeah.
and I'm
Yes.
excited to see it. Also, you're gonna get a Black Canary in a movie, and it means like the effects are gonna look really good, and she's gonna kick ass, and that's
Yeah.
gonna be awesome. And I'm so excited. Also, the blonde's a wig, so
Yeah,
it doesn't
exactly.
matter.
It doesn't matter.
I also loved all the internet when Michael B. Jordan was thrown out for Superman.
Superman.
Regardless of any opinion on it, they're like, well, are they going to have to recast the Kents? And it was like, oh, you don't understand that he's
Superman.
adopted.
He's literally adopted. You
Oh my
dum-dums.
gosh!
They don't-
Did you really see that? Did somebody really see that?
Yeah.
yeah.
They
that
were
was
like,
happening.
what are we
Shit.
supposed to do? And I was like, I don't know,
Calm
man.
down.
I'm gonna take this
Do you know how
opportunity.
adoption works?
Do you know that Clark Kent is actually not their son?
I-
Superman is adopted.
Yeah.
Spoilers,
So-
man. What
it's
the
part
fuck?
of the.
Careful, guys.
I want to take this opportunity to do something we never do, which is to shame our audience.
I don't think our audience
No,
is doing this.
but
though.
if there's somebody watching right now, and if they don't read as many comics as other, like if they don't really read comics, but they love movies and TV shows and stuff, all I'm gonna say is don't be that person. So
that
like,
he read,
Not me.
No,
what I said.
what you said. Don't be Sam. Don't be what Sam
fuck
read.
this guy. No, I'm just
Don't be
kidding.
that person. Meaning, know your shit. And sometimes that means read some comic books. So if you're watching this right now, you're like, oh, I could probably read some more comic books. For the love of God, read some more comic books.
Read some
so
books.
that you're not that person. Read some books. Go.
Read some books.
Read
Go
some
away.
books.
Go away.
Crack your necks. Read some books.
Read some books.
Well, it's the same thing that happened with Captain Marvel when they first showed Brie Larson in the green suit, and people were like, what is this? Where's the red, gold, and blue?
Yeah.
And you had to crack them nuts and get in there and be like, this is the first suit.
Oh my God! I remember
Evolution.
when that happened.
Yeah.
The Carol Danvers suit. Yeah, a bunch of comic fans had to hop in and be like, "Those are the wrong colors."
It's like,
I don't know. Marvel
Oh,
knows what color
Jesus.
it's supposed to be.
Oh, boy.
Come on,
Oh,
guys.
boy.
Come on. And yeah, then we've also had Black Canary on Smallville and on Arrow.
Yeah.
Played by
Yeah.
like 3 different people.
There's
right?
3. I think we landed on 4 actually,
Four.
because
Holy
Birds of Prey.
Sarah. Well, I was thinking just CW.
Yeah.
Oh wait, no, there's more. Hold on.
Well, there's Earth 1 and
Have a
Earth
fry.
2.
Yeah.
You know?
And then there's Black Siren, and then there's Sarah, and then there's Dinah.
Yeah.
And there's Laurel, Dinah, Sarah. I can't keep track of it.
Guys,
but
it'll be fine.
Yeah.
We can have one that's not white.
And there's also a character named White Canary. So for the
Yeah.
fans going, dude,
That's
I don't
right.
like that, you would literally have a character named White Canary you can watch once a week. Like,
Yeah.
shut the fuck up. Like,
Let's make her Asian, Doc. Let's make her Asian.
let's make White Canary Asian. That's right.
And watch the internet really lose their mind.
So here's the quote that Mary Elizabeth
Yo,
Winstead
why is
said
there a
about playing the
table leg
character.
under here, dude? Why is there 2 table legs under here? What's happening?
It's
Bro,
a strong table,
It's just
Hector.
a strong table, bro.
Yeah, it's a strong
It's for your
table.
giant dong.
Look at this.
On Playing Hunter, she says, I can't say that I was a huge comic book reader. Is that where you're hiding your pants?
Yeah, dude.
Put it back. The table's gonna
Put it
fall.
back, it's gonna fall.
This was on the ground. This was lying on the ground like this.
The
this
table,
was not
Hector. The table had a baby. The table had a baby.
Oh, man.
That's how tables are made.
She said, I can't say that I was a huge comic book reader, but when I met with Kathy Yan, who's directing the film, and learned kind of the backstory of the character, I was really interested. It's a really strong, kind of emotional place to start from for a superhero character. I won't go into too much detail now, but I think it's interesting and an opportunity to do something cool with this kind of character. And when you, my knowledge on the character is kind of limited too. It's crazy because now as Marvel and DC start going into, I don't want to call these characters tertiary, but I guess to general audiences they kind of are.
They are. Yeah.
It's now going to require people to kind of do bigger deep dives on these characters if they're not watching the CW shows and don't necessarily know who Huntress and Batwoman
That's
and,
good.
and all these characters are, which is great.
The best thing about this is
Yeah.
that she basically describes like director Kathy Yan pitched
Pitch
this
something
to her
good.
and did a
Yeah.
good job pitching it. That's what made this actor excited about it. That's
how
the
it
key.
should be.
You got to pitch that shit.
Now everyone needs to back off and let them make the movie and just don't ruin it for them.
Just breathe.
Please.
But it's cool because it seems like this character's backstory kind of reflects Batman's in a way, but it's just kind of being born. It's like Superman Red Sun. It's like if the character came from a different background. So I'm interested to see how that sort of plays into the greater story.
Yeah.
And the interesting thing is that Batman won't be a featured character. I mean, I think we're all kind of expecting that Batman wouldn't be in it, but I find it very
we should-
interesting that
yes.
the character will not be in Gotham City. Like at that time when the movie takes place, he's not the protector of Gotham City.
So
he's away.
What does that mean?
Who
Because that was
knows?
also the same premise for the terrible show Birds of Prey
Yeah.
from
He's
like
2002.
16 years
he's
ago.
in space,
Yes.
Hector. He's having
Yeah.
He's in space? He's in
Adventures in
space.
space.
That would be so dope if that's what Warner Brothers did. If they were like, oh, the Justice League's in space. Fuck
Yeah,
it.
exactly.
Wait,
They're fighting
so Justice
Brainiac.
League or just Batman? I think it's just
It's
Batman.
just Batman.
We're not sure.
Yeah.
Batman took on Brainiac by himself.
If there's
Right.
even a 1% chance that he could find another planet, then that's an absolute certainty. And he just fires off.
Screaming all the way up.
Bye.
But I think this goes
all
back to
Batman.
I think this goes back to the conversation that we usually always have is like interconnectivity between these movies. Does it matter that there's no Batman? Does this mean we're going to get a Green Arrow? It doesn't matter at all. Or are we just focusing on these characters and not worrying about anything else? It's going to have Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn, so there is a connection there.
But you're saying because there's no Batman in this world.
yeah, or Green
are you-
Arrow.
There's no
potentially.
Green Arrow?
I mean, we
far
don't
as we
know.
know.
As far as we know, these are the only characters
I see,
we know exist.
because
Yeah.
they're announcing Black Canary, but
Right.
not Green Arrow,
Exactly.
who
Right,
normally
right.
they're partners.
Yeah.
I mean, all that shit is really interesting, but like I hope that they don't. I hope that Warner Brothers knows like you can still do tertiary characters even if the big boys and girls are still around.
Yeah.
Right? Like
Coexisting.
We're getting Spider-Man
Right.
Homecoming and there's still the Avengers. And
Right.
I think audiences have gotten savvy to like the question of like, well why would there be superheroes doing their own thing if there's like whole teams of them and they can just call them.
Right.
We've moved past that, I feel like, cuz that's that
Yeah.
comic book. It's that comic
You have
book
to
ask.
suspend. You have to
Yes.
basically, yeah.
Yes. So
Suspend your
like
disbelief.
if they're concerned with like we have to explain why these girls show up if Batman's around. No, you don't. Batman, they could just both exist. Like don't work too hard of like, oh, this whole thing's going to revolve around like Luke Skywalker missing, now Batman's missing. Like don't do that shit cuz that kind of is going to take away from
Because then that's still
these
a Batman
characters.
story. It's not-
Exactly. And these three characters are still established characters. You can they are in DC Comics by themselves,
Right.
even though there's Batman comics happening at the same time. So like I hope that it's not super. I just hope it's not that. I hope it's not a screenwriter going like, I gotta crack this nut. Why would these girls show up? Must be because Batman's
Don't
missing.
understand.
Otherwise, the city would be safe because
Yeah,
Batman,
'cause
right?
Batman's
it's like
there.
no, like
Doesn't have to.
Helena Bartolini, she covers different blocks than
Right.
Bruce. Do you know what I
Right,
mean? And then so
exactly.
does Nightwing and Bloodhaven, and so does
I feel
Robin.
like,
And
I feel like they treat Batman like he solved crime in Gotham.
Oh no, he has no handle on it.
No.
Period.
No,
At all.
literally.
Thank you.
Literally, the city is still crime-ridden with
Yeah.
Batman around.
Every
Even
night.
when you have Superman and everybody doesn't have a handle
Crime
on it.
still happens,
Yeah.
damn it.
So that's why his Bat family has now like 19 people in
right,
it, and
exactly.
they're still not. They don't have a. They just made a character who goes out in the daytime. There's like
Did they really?
That's the Signal. Like Signal's
Oh,
whole thing
yeah.
is like I'm in the daytime, and you're like, well, what's everybody else doing the whole
They're
time?
they gotta wait till night.
Yeah,
That's
they're
so
like
funny.
it's so
It
close.
ruins-
Hold
Was
on.
that-
It ruins the aesthetic of
Sundown,
the
go.
What's the Signals? What was his real name? What's that kid's real name?
Duke.
He was
Duke Thomas,
Duke
yeah.
Thomas was a Robin, kind of.
Yeah.
And now he's the Signal. Was Duke's whole idea like, guys, why don't you go out during the day?
Yeah.
Crime is still happening.
Like, guys,
And the
Does
whole,
anybody work normal hours?
the whole Batman
No
family's
9
like,
to 5 here? All right.
going out
What are
during
you
the
talking
day.
about? Like,
You're
like,
crazy.
like when we sleep? What are
Yeah.
What are you talking
All
about?
these are kids here. Are they going
Yeah.
to school? Like, what's the deal?
No.
Yeah,
there's no education
Robin's
happening here.
12. It's 3 in the morning. He's beating up a crackhead. Like, what's the big deal? Let
That's
him
what
do
you
his
No
thing.
wonder he's so angry.
Yeah.
Like he's got a lot of problems.
Yeah.
He's very sleep deprived. That's the
The
problem.
Bat
Oh,
family's like,
man.
it's fine. We've
Yeah.
got Clayface now. It's fine.
Don't
He's on
worry
our
about it.
side.
Oh, I know.
They still fuck up all the time.
I do like they did Huntress's story on Arrow for a couple seasons and actually really nailed her character. In basically since Arrow in the beginning was Batman was arrows and like
Yeah.
the story was really similar. But I really dug that. I like Black Canary a lot, but I am definitely a little bit more excited to know about Renee Montoya and Cassandra Cain
Yeah.
whenever they get to those characters, because I recently read all of 52 because like everyone talks about it and I was like, okay, and it is like kind of a big book to get through, and I finally got through it and I'm like, oh, okay, I get it now. I get Renee Montoya.
Yeah.
becomes the question
Yep.
in that series, which is great. But Renee is such a great character in her own right, and she's going to be in the Birds of Prey movie.
Yes.
And so
And
is
Cassandra
Cassandra
Cain.
Cain,
Yeah.
who later becomes Batgirl, and
Yeah.
she's all like fucked up. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Was
That's great.
Renee Montoya introduced in Batman the Animated Series, right?
She
or no?
technically no, but she was created for the show. But as they were making the show, they decided to put her in a comic book first. So I think she was in like a Batman
Oh, that's
Adventures
right.
comic.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
technically
yeah.
her first appearance on Earth was in the printed page of a DC
Yeah.
comic book, but she was created for Batman the Animated
That's a
Series.
character that, like, from the animated series, I've always loved. Like, her and Harvey Bullock, two characters I really love, who have never been in a movie. And I'm like, what are we waiting for?
I know.
You have these, like, Bullock ripoffs, and I'm like, just put them in the damn movie.
I know.
But I don't know. How do you feel about this, like, potentially not being interconnected with the other DC movies? Do you think it matters, or are you kind of like, I'm fine with it?
Just
whatever you
let's
do?
take a breath, like, because it's
Yeah.
like every day it's just a new story. It's like 7 actresses are up for this role for this
Yeah.
movie. It's not confirmed, and it's like, oh my god, just take a breath, please. Like I don't. And my favorite article was like, Matt Reeves just turned in a draft for the
Oh,
Batman, and you're
yeah.
like, why do we know how his homework's
Yeah,
going? Like I don't
exactly,
care.
exactly.
And
Yeah.
like you know what? As long as it works. Good to go.
Good to
In
go.
Wonder Woman, I didn't remember besides like the little vignette in the beginning and the end where you're like
Yeah.
you get Wayne Industries. It doesn't have anything to do with anything else, and I mean
No.
the time being in the past helps. But it's like no, it's okay. You don't have to mention anything if you don't want to. Maybe mention Superman because how could you like not if you're being superheroes and there's
Yeah.
like an
Right,
alien throwing buildings around like.
Yeah.
But you don't need it.
And that's like the benefit of playing in that sandbox is that the Marvel movies do it the same way, where even in their TV shows, they're referencing the big events that are happening that are changing the world. But like Shazam is referencing the fact that Man of Steel, the events during Man of Steel, which is great. And Superman and Batman and Wonder Woman are such iconic characters that like these tertiary or like second, grade characters can discuss them almost as if they are metaphors. Do you know what I mean? It's like in the Dark Knight movie when Bruce Wayne and Harvey Dent are arguing about the Batman and like talking about like the pros and cons of vigilantism or whatever. You can just do that tenfold with like the Superman, the metahuman, Right. So like, don't cut yourself off. Do what Sam's doing, and you don't have to force it and force connections or whatever. But just don't adamantly state like, no, this is separate. Batman's dead or whatever. Like, because it's like, well, then you're missing opportunities to later bring in characters like Commissioner Gordon and Harvey Bullock and these great characters that can interact with Renee Montoya or Green Arrow with Black Canary or blah 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 blah. So just don't cut yourself off. Don't
you
do
think
that.
it's better to stay vague?
Yeah,
or
or
not really make a decision on
open.
it? Okay.
Open, but like
open,
again, man, just basically look at every like origin movie or first movie of the Marvel franchise. Like Iron Man 1 kind of sets up Shield, like doesn't really make references to Captain America or Thor, but then like when you get to Iron Man 2, there's little things here and there. Coulson goes to check on a hammer. Like in the first Hulk movie, General Ross is pulling out a thing and it says Abraham Erskine on it, the super soldier serum. That kind of shit. Like leave it open to where if you did want to do that, you can do it, but don't feel obligated. Like
for sure.
As someone who didn't know anything about comics going into the Hulk movie, into the Incredible Hulk movie, I didn't know. I saw that name, I was like, okay, like it didn't matter at all. And they said it was Super Soldier, so I was like, oh, cool. So this just seems like a really bad idea. Like what they're doing. So I'm okay to see. Oh, you want to mix it? Cool. Let's see what he looks like. Those cowards didn't put the webbing on his face or whatever.
But it's so true what you were saying earlier, like the Matt Reeves thing, and people always ask us to comment on those things, and there's nothing to say. He turned in a draft of a script that is literally the most boring thing to talk about. Because we still don't know what's happening with that movie. Apparently, they're going to shoot it next year. If they do, cool. People are still asking about Ben Affleck, whether or not he's going to be in it. We don't know. He's going through some stuff. Like, let's just worry about it when there's a trailer or when a poster comes out or something. I think now it's like, let's just hope that the movie's really good and that they treat the characters with the same respect that we would treat them if we were the ones making the movie. And I think if the director is pitching something to the actor that is really resonating with them, then I think that's all you can ask for. You want the pitch to be good. So we'll see. The other thing that they're talking about is Black Mask is apparently going to be the villain in this movie. Cool. Sam Rockwell was approached, and now they're apparently looking at Charlton Copley and Ewan McGregor. Black Mask is a cool character that hasn't had a cinematic appearance yet. He's shown up in Batman Arkham Origins, I think it was.
So, yeah.
He did. But another character that like kind of, if you don't read a lot of Batman lore, you probably don't know too much about. Like even I don't know that much about Black Mask, other than he's like a mob boss.
The first time I heard of Black Mask was in that Batman game.
So his face is wood, right? Like the mask is wood. Like in the comics, sometimes it's wood.
I think it varies from like
whoever's
storyteller
writing.
to storyteller.
Rubber to wood or whatever.
Yeah. They threw out wood one time, and I was like, wait. Wood melted to his face? Whatever. All right, I'm not gonna think about it.
Maybe he just likes to wear it. I don't know.
At a certain point, you're like,
I feel like he does have a similar origin to the Red Skull, where at first it's a guy wearing a mask, and then something happened, and now that's his face.
Like his face.
I just found out about that. I'm like, oh, so complicated.
Okay, that's fine.
They're always borrowing shit from each other.
What are the odds, right? What are the odds that a guy's like, here's my motif. I am a German Nazi. I have a red skull. It's very scary. And then like,
terrifying.
And then something happens. He's like, oh, an accident. What the fuck? It's the exact same. Like, what are the odds of that? That's like that Simpsons episode where they're wearing Halloween costumes and then they get turned into that Halloween costume.
Exactly.
Like a witch's curse. Like, that's real dumb.
Well, apparently that's a common appearance. So the lesson is don't wear masks. Don't wear masks anywhere in public whatsoever.
That's right. We also got a first look, and I totally forgot. We talked about this last week, but we talked about the announcement that they made that the Joker movie is happening. They announced the cast. It wasn't until the next day that we actually got to see the. I know. I'm like, y'all can't just put it up on Thursday so we can have a show.
Nope.
We can have a show.
We got a schedule.
I wonder what they reveal tomorrow.
Right? But we did officially get our first look at Joaquin Phoenix as the Joker. They've been on, and I think it goes back to controlling the narrative. They did it very smart. They revealed what he looked like as Arthur Fleck before they were filming him on the streets of New York.
Smart.
And then right before they went to filming him on the streets as the Joker, they revealed it. Or Todd Phillips revealed it through Instagram, what he looks like. I really like it. I think it looks really cool.
I think it's fucking rad, honestly.
Yeah.
Like,
I dig it.
They didn't just reveal his face. They revealed the mood of the movie.
Yeah.
Like,
That's key.
If this is what they're going with, I'm completely interested in this because it was, first of all, it had like this thick kind of atmosphere to it, kind of creepy, but it was very, very intriguing. Like kind of the way he was dancing in the background. Is there something wrong with him mentally?
Yeah.
Like there's just... It's beautifully done, but it's also kind of off-kilter enough to where I'm like, yes, let's do this.
Joaquin Phoenix is such a powerhouse, and he's
He is.
so
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
And it's just the way he immediately, like, at least for me, but probably with wider audiences, that's why they got him. But, like, as soon as he gets on screen, I immediately just connect with him emotionally. And I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
And it's so cool to see him go to a place like this.
Right,
Then
right,
I can't wait. I can't, and also, because, like, they have the footage of, like, the subway stuff that's
Yeah.
happening.
Yeah.
And you're like, I'm like, oh, they're doing it. Like, they're going 100%. I know it was an origin movie, but I was like,
Right.
oh, that didn't click in my brain that it was, like, we're doing it. For some reason, I was like, the end of it is him doing the face paint. And I'm like, oh, that would actually be a pretty boring movie, but I get it now. I understand.
Yeah.
I was listening to the podcast Fighter and the Kid. Do you guys follow any?
No.
Okay, so Fighter and the Kid is Brian Callen and another ex-MMA guy. Anyway, Brian Callen, he is in the Joker movie.
Oh,
and he
cool.
literally just finished filming last week, and he came into the podcast, and he's like, guys, I can't say much. He's a comedian, so he's got like this really funny gait, and he's like, I can't say much, but he's like, Joaquin Phoenix is a fucking powerhouse. Like, he's like, I've never seen anybody so dedicated to anything. And I'm like, oh, okay, all right.
That's exciting.
And apparently the other guy on the podcast spoiled the plot of the movie 2 years ago on their podcast. So I'm hunting which episode that is to like try to figure out what exactly is going on. So yeah,
text me after.
I'll let you guys know once I figure
Let us
it
know,
out. Yeah.
please. But I think it looks really good, and I think, you know, we sort of talked about keeping the mystery of Joker's origin, and how do you do that? You know, I kind of like the idea. I'm sort of more and more on board with this as we get further into it, of playing with potentially one version of his origin, but also seeing how those multiple origins could maybe influence the character that he becomes, because seeing him, you know, there's other images of him in the clown makeup where he's actually dressed up as a clown, and then seeing how he takes only parts of it and uses that to become the Joker. Like, what's the thing that triggers this character? That should be interesting.
Yeah.
And it seems like, because I think this takes place in the mid 80s or something.
Looks like it, yeah, or
Thomas-
like late 70s maybe.
I think it's the 80s.
Okay.
But Thomas Wayne seems to be running for mayor of Gotham City, and it looks like however the situation unfolds, Joker and him end up, I guess sort of creating their own factions. And the
Joker armies or
Joker
what?
army, like a Joker army basically, and he's gonna run against. It seems like he's trying to basically convince people why he would be the better mayor of Gotham City.
Yeah.
So like
Joker,
that could be interesting. How are you really gonna convince us of that?
Maybe,
But
maybe.
I'm kind of there for the performance.
My opinion on this movie just changed like all over the place.
Yeah.
as we went through
Yes.
this, because at
Yes,
first I was
me
like,
too.
I was on board, and then you said that, I'm like, that sounds a lot like Gotham. That
Yeah.
sounds like
Yeah.
because it's everybody not fighting Batman, but it happened like 20 years before.
Yeah.
There, I'll just go into it. You know?
Yeah.
You know?
And an age discrepancy like the show Gotham, where like all of Bruce Wayne, Batman's villains are all in their 20s or 30s, and
Right.
Bruce Wayne's still like 12.
Yeah.
So it's like, in this world, does Thomas Wayne have a son named Bruce? How old is he? Is he in his 20s? Is he 8 years old, like he's
No
supposed to be
idea.
when Thomas and Martha get
No.
shot? And if he's 8 years old and
Is he not even
Joaquin's
born yet?
in his 40s, is he going to be fighting a 7-year-old Joker in 20
Yeah.
years? Like, or are they, you know, like
The son of Joker?
lots of
Like,
questions.
I don't know.
Lots of questions.
Yeah, so that's
it's-
interesting.
we talked about you know, what does the Joker do and what does Batman do in stories, and what do they do for each other in stories? What do they represent in comics? And I'll compare it to the Venom movie that's coming out. I've read Venom comics and I've read stories, and even his origin, where like I am okay with feeling a little sympathetic for Eddie Brock. That's kind of part of Venom. And especially when they started putting him as like, he's lethal protector, he's somebody who cares about innocent people, he just hates Spider-Man. So it's this interesting, you know, like anti-hero, like he's trying to be like the Punisher, he's trying to be like you can feel bad for the Punisher. He kills people, and that's illegal and wrong, but you can still
do that.
you still sympathize with Frank Castle, like you know, and they want you to.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm yet comfortable with like sympathizing with the Joker. You know what I mean? Like,
And-
that's the thing that this movie needs to convince me on.
That
'Cause-
happened with the Killing Joke when they made that into a movie. 'cause
Yes.
In the book, which I'm not like the huge fan of the book, but
No, me neither.
I get why people like it.
Sure.
But you read it and you're like, when things go bad, you realize that like it's a fun thesis, like this fun like hypothesis of like just
Exploration
one,
of
But like one bad day turns you into me, and that's the Joker. And
Right.
then you think about it and you're like, oh, you had one bad day.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
yeah.
You like, can you even like imagine that? Like, you became a mass terrorist
Yes.
because
Right,
of
right.
one bad day.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Right,
You
right.
shouldn't feel bad for the Joker after that. That's the
Ever.
point of the Killing Joke
Right,
is that
exactly.
Commissioner Gordon also has one bad day because of
Right.
what happens to his daughter, and he
Yeah.
still doesn't turn evil. Batman had one very bad day. His parents were shot in front of him, and then he turns into Batman and not the Joker. So, like, again, you take Batman out of the equation, you still have a very interesting character, but what is it? Is this,
Exactly.
is this Wolf on Wall
Exactly.
Street? Is this a Martin Scorsese movie?
Right.
Which he apparently has, like, nothing to do with, I guess? Somebody was looking that up. They're like, wait, is he not producing it? Like, he's
It
not.
doesn't seem like it, yeah, because when they made
So
the
that
announcement, there was
went
no
away.
Scorsese.
There's
yeah,
no Scorsese,
so he
but
just
like,
detached himself from the
yeah,
project.
or whatever. But like, if it's Wolf of Wall Street, where some people are like, "Oh, that movie's so fun," and other people are like, "No, that's horrifying. That's
Yeah.
a bad. Like, you should not be rooting for Leonardo DiCaprio. He's a piece of shit."
Right.
How is this movie going to be? How are comic book fans, which are known for being very intuitive and nuanced in their film tastes,
very
how are they-
intelligent and
yeah,
well thought
how
out.
are they going to take a movie and whatever the movie is saying? Do you know what I mean? Like,
Right. Exactly.
what's going to happen?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we still don't know what this movie is wanting to say. Like to me, the only way I can imagine it is just like really long foreplay where they're just like hinting towards the Joker, and you're just like, he's not Joker yet, so
Yeah.
you can feel for this guy, and maybe he doesn't even fully turn into Joker, so you can sympathize with him, and they imply the fact that one day this guy's gonna turn into Joker. That's really like the only way that I can think of me, because I can't root for the Joker. I can't.
Or
I
something
can't.
happens at the end where he's full on Joker, and you're just
Right.
like, "Oh, this movie is such a mind fuck."
Right,
Wow,
like,
you
I
walk
was rooting for you, dog.
You were walking out of the theater like, "Oh, dude,
Yeah.
that's so messed up." Anyway,
But you're not going to think that because
Yeah.
you know he's the Joker. Like,
Yeah.
you know
Yeah.
he's eventually
I
going to
don't know.
kill somebody.
Yeah.
I guess I do like the idea of it is that you don't know where he's going to end up, even though you do.
Yeah.
But
Right.
But you do.
Yeah, but like
Yeah.
you do. But like
Sure.
the tease of it of like there's a chance, but there's not. But there's a chance.
it's
yeah.
like the Star Wars
Yeah.
prequels.
Yeah.
Darth Vader. Like, you know what's going to happen,
Yeah.
but there's still that movie. Those movies, for better or worse, are trying to show the story of like, this guy fell, man,
Yeah.
and it's
Right,
tragic.
right,
like,
right.
look at the people it affected. That's sad. So you're
Yes.
trying to feel for that.
Right.
So is this movie gonna do the same thing?
Yeah.
Just to get us to a point where like the last shot again is like he pulls out a card and gets punched by a leathered glove. Like, I don't.
Right.
What's gonna happen?
I don't know. So are we? Is he going to be a antagonist? Is he going to be an anti-hero? Or are we going to root for this guy? We don't know what.
Guys, just think about how. Remember when the Watchmen movie came out? People were like, the comedian's awesome. Comedian's my favorite. It's like, no, he's a rapist. You should not be rooting for the comedian.
No.
He is a piece of shit. But a lot of people were like, he's cool, dude. He's so badass. Like,
Yeah.
No, that's
what's
not the
gonna
point.
What's
They
gonna happen
didn't-
with the Joker?
They didn't get it.
No,
Same with
no.
Rorschach though. Cool mask.
Right.
Wear that whenever you want, but that
Yeah.
dude's
Yeah.
really
He's
sick.
He's really sick.
Yeah.
He's really sick in the head. And some people are like, Rorschach's my favorite. And I'm like, fuck, man.
You're like, no, dog.
Oh,
that's
we
a
can't
bad
hang out
sign.
anymore.
Just shout out to Uberbaldi. Thank you so much for the $10 tip. This is a good point. Is it a bad precedent that the villains are often more interesting than the heroes, and that leads to great villains becoming anti-heroes? Harley Quinn and Venom are good examples.
Sure. And Deadpool, kind of.
Yeah.
But he
Deadpool
was
was kind of, yeah.
But he really Deadpool started as a spoof on like Deathstroke. But even
Yeah.
Deathstroke is kind of an anti-hero
Sure.
too.
Right,
He's got his own
right.
comic. He's
He
I mean,
is super interesting.
Yeah.
they're
He's
they're
awful,
very
though.
interesting.
Yeah.
I think that in the comic book world it's okay, and they are reflective of their times. The Punisher hit really big in the 70s, first of all, because it was the 70s, and everyone was like, fuck Vietnam and what the
Right,
U.S.
right,
is
right.
doing. All of a sudden, this character shows up that's like, I'm a Vietnam vet,
Yeah.
and I'm taking out the drug dealers on the
Yeah.
streets. People responded to that. I think it's fine in the comic book world because there are so many characters,
Right.
but in movies it's different because we're going to keep seeing the Joker in movies, but like, do we have the rest of the DC villains to have that character be one of an ensemble? Do we even have the rest of the Batman villains at this point? Do we have do we have a whole lineup of different characters to where again, other characters can just speak to the differences in their natures. Like,
Right.
I love it when Bruce Wayne and Alfred and whoever else are talking about the psychology between, of like the Mad Hatter and the Riddler and the
Right,
Joker.
right,
And
right.
so when they get to the Joker, they're like, this guy's super fucked up. It's okay for him to be fucked up because the Mad Hatter is putting hats on people.
Right.
And he's hired, you know what I mean? He hires
Yeah.
Tweedledum and Tweedledee. And like Mr. Freeze, he's fucked up, but he cares about his wife.
Right,
and
right.
Clayface is such a tragic, and then you get to the
Right.
Joker, like he's the most evil. And it's okay. But if you take away everything else,
Yeah.
Just evil.
then yeah, or is
Yeah.
it just a sympathetic character and then
Right.
you lose some of that?
Exactly.
That,
Which leads
you
to
know,
the
I don't
long
know.
foreplay, and you're just like, I don't know what this is going to lead up to.
It's
So
interesting.
I'm
Yeah,
kind of
I don't
interested
know.
to see if
I don't
that's
know.
what this Joker movie ends up being. If we're supposed to really care about Arthur Fleck as a character,
I don't
and
know.
then
Oh,
see
that's his name. I forgot
Yeah,
about
yeah.
that. Yeah.
what the
his
journey
name.
of that character's what the journey of that character is going to be, and if they're going to play with that, and
Yeah,
if
I
they're
don't know.
going to try to make us feel sympathetic towards the character, and then they spin it. But it's like for general audiences, are they going to buy into that because they may not know Joker as well as comic book readers?
Sure.
Are comic book readers going to sort of just suspend their disbelief and go, we know that the Joker's evil, we know he's an anarchist, we know he's a terrorist, but because this is an Elseworld story
Let me
that doesn't deal with
sympathize.
Batman, let
Yeah.
me go on this journey with this character and see, like, okay, convince me why
Right.
why one bad day
Sure.
is justified
Sure.
in this movie.
Right. That
which
short,
I'm into.
That short clip that we got,
Yeah.
or that they premiered after we talked about it, almost made me forget about all these criticisms that I was making about the movie. I was
Yeah.
like, oh, that looks pretty dope, though.
Yeah.
Like, hopefully they do something really cool with
Well,
this.
I think you need somebody like Joaquin Phoenix to do that because, like
Yeah.
you were saying, like earlier this year, I watched You Were Never Really Here, and the second he shows up, you're like, I'm in.
Yeah.
You're just completely sucked in by Joaquin Phoenix's performance. So, and this is kind of a lot crazier than what, at least from what I've seen from Joaquin Phoenix do. So this should be really interesting.
Yeah.
I'm intrigued.
I'm so
I'm looking-
intrigued.
I'm ready to see some more.
And it's
Yeah.
a perfect compromise for everyone asking him to do superhero movies. He's
That's
like,
right.
no, I'm doing this one thing. You
Yeah.
said it's one, and
I didn't commit me to multiple Marvel
Yeah,
movies.
but we're
Yeah.
getting the Marvel money.
That's
and
right.
we're
Yeah.
doing one movie.
But we're doing
Yeah.
one movie, and
But I don't
that's
have to be Doctor Strange.
good. Yeah,
that's right.
Okay.
Exactly.
So I think it's time to
Trailer
watch
time?
this
Trailer
X-Men trailer for
Okay.
Dark Phoenix. I've heard a
I'm
lot of
gonna
mixed
need
stuff
all
on
these
this trailer.
French fries.
I've heard a lot
I
of
am
mixed
not
stuff on
Seen it.
this.
Sam, you seen it?
Mm-hmm.
I've seen it.
I have not
You
seen
have
it.
not
course you've
seen
seen
it.
it.
You have not seen it. Yeah.
Nah, dog.
I haven't.
Buckle up.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Shit.
Shall we do this?
Yeah.
Lucas, you ready? Oh, fuck. God help us.
You think you can fix me?
Jean, you are not broken.
Disney's buying us out.
Takes only the slightest tap to tip it in the wrong direction.
Charles, what did you do?
I had to keep her stable. I protected her.
From the truth?
Yikes.
Huh.
There's another word for that.
You lied, Charles.
Yeesh.
I came looking for answers.
You feel like you don't belong here. You don't. They can't begin to comprehend what you are.
She's changing.
And what?
You didn't come here looking for answers. You came here looking for permission. Jean. She's all rage, pain, and it's all coming out at once. Jean lost control, but she's still our friend. This is your fault, Charles. The world is on the brink. I'm sorry I didn't stop it sooner. You're always sorry, Charles, and there's always a speech, and nobody cares. There's still hope. Don't do this.
They're right to fear me.
I've seen evil. And I'm looking at it now.
Dark
There it
Phoenix.
is.
Interesting.
With the X, Dark Phoenix.
That's right.
So you know it's X-Men.
That's right.
I like
Just
this
in case
trailer.
you forgot.
I like this trailer.
It's not bad.
I got first thing.
Yeah.
The title. As soon as we were burned the last time they hid the logo in the title. Fant Four Stick.
Oh, yes.
And it's the same company, so I can't not think about that going into it.
Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
With the 4 in the thing.
Fant Four Stick, yeah.
That's true.
Oh, Christ. R.I.P. Fant Four Stick.
I bought the IMAX tickets for that one.
It may
We
have
didn't make that mistake,
Or
thankfully.
a bit large screen.
Yeah. Bigger screen, better sound.
Remember when that was
not a great
that
movie.
was gonna be in 3D, and then like in
Yeah,
the first
they
trailer
pulled
they're
the
like in
plug.
3D, and then like
Yeah.
the next trailer was like just
Never
regular.
mind.
Never
Just
mind.
not doing that.
Just
Never
kidding.
mind.
In IMAX and 2D.
The director went crazy. Never mind.
Yeah.
This might have even been the same advertising team at Fox that came up with this.
Probably.
It's the same guy, and someone's
Probably.
like, "Damn it, Jerry." Well, it's good. It makes sense.
It's
How about
really
this?
clean.
Let's get rid of X-Men. It's really clean. X is at the end. Phoenix, Dark Phoenix. What's up? Huh? You want to turn it up? Oh, that's okay.
I think volume's all the way up.
Maximum,
we
BB.
got
we
we
can
got
hear
it in
good.
here. We got it.
Oh, okay.
Oh, interesting.
Mm-hmm.
The cinematography is really dynamic, and
Yeah.
that's probably my favorite part of this entire trailer is just seeing like how crazy they got with it, like the car crash.
Yeah.
That's like they really smashed two cars together as hard as they possibly could, and it was cool to see how they're showing her abilities. The only thing about this is that Matthew Vaughn and what they did with Days of Future Past really got me connected to the older cast, and then in Apocalypse, because there were so many plot lines, I totally forgot that they were introducing the young people in that one too.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
They didn't mean nothing to me, and so
Right.
like seeing this it's all about them. I'm like,
It's Storm, but it's not Halle Berry Storm. Like it's
Yeah.
not, a
Yeah.
long-lived Storm. It's kind of
Yeah.
a newer. It's Alexandra ship.
I know a lot of people were talking about the trailer lacked action. I'm kind of fine with that.
Yeah.
Usually with the first trailer,
it's the tone.
yeah,
they're
I'm
trying
more
to
worried
hit the
about
tone
I'm
on
more
that
worried about the tone, but I'm kind of in the same boat as you because X-Men Apocalypse was kind of meh, and I didn't really think, and I kind of forgot about it. But I love X-Men Days of Future Past. Yeah, I'm not connected with this new cast yet. I feel like
young
I feel like I
kids.
needed at least one more movie before I could be fully committed and to this cast. But if this movie ends up telling the story extremely well, and I'm committed to the cast, I think it's safe to say Mystique dies. I think that's pretty safe. I think Jennifer Lawrence has been wanting out of these movies forever. So if she dies and if other characters die, I think James McAvoy, Fassbender, Beast, and
Dude, anybody can die. The movie, the
No, but
franchise
what I'm
is
saying
done.
is
Literally,
like,
the company
no, I
is
know.
going under.
But what
Yeah.
I'm saying is like those characters, if it's
Yes.
Xavier, Magneto, Beast, if those characters die, I will feel something a little bit more because Sophie Turner and Ty Sheridan and Alexandra Shipp, they're so new that I'm not really invested in them yet.
And this
But
is
yeah, it's
supposed
true.
to-
Like this could be the end of the franchise.
I'm just gonna stop myself. I was gonna try to explain the timeline. I'm just gonna stop.
No,
it
no,
doesn't
no,
fucking
don't bother.
matter.
It doesn't matter.
People have pointed out online. They're like, if this is in the 90s, that means within 10 years, 10 to 12, maybe 15 years, McAvoy goes from that to the Patrick Stewart.
Sure. Who
Like
cares?
Professor X.
Well, no,
Fassbender
because-
goes from that to old ass Ian McKellen. It's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
oh yeah.
Well, at this
makes
point, it
no
doesn't even matter
sense.
because in X-Men: The Last Stand, when they
Yeah.
do the flashback,
Yeah.
it's already the 80s, and they already
Correct.
look like
They already-
they already look like
They already look ancient.
Ian McKellen
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
what's his name, Patrick Stewart.
Yeah,
so
so it's-
it doesn't matter. The continuity of these movies is all over the place.
and
but
the only reason he's bald is because of magic Egyptian aliens.
exactly,
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly.
And it's
exactly.
like he could just
Oh,
have
yeah.
had like alopecia,
been
just
bald.
gone bald.
Yeah.
Like,
Guys.
but that's the only
comics.
reason.
You got to come over next year, early next year, and rewatch
To
X-Men
marathon all of it?
Apocalypse in 3D. at
Oh,
my
do
place.
I have to?
I feel like, yeah, because nobody fucking remembers that movie. We all know Days of Future Past
there's a
pretty
reason
well.
I don't remember it, Hector.
Yeah, come
Same
over
reason I don't
watch it.
remember The Last
It's
Stand.
traumatic.
No.
You know how your brain blocks out
Yeah,
traumatic effects
Come
or
on.
whatever? Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what happened with that
I think-
movie for me.
Come on, man.
Angel died in that, right?
I
Yeah.
don't remember.
I think I
Come on,
remember
man.
Yes, I
him
think
getting
so.
blades through his body.
We'll
think
crack open
Psylocke
some
died.
beers
And
you
laugh?
know. No, Psylocke
we
is
laugh?
alive. Yeah, man.
Okay.
It's
Oh,
As
it'll
long
be a
as
good
we don't
time.
take it seriously.
It'll be a good time.
And
Oh boy.
My favorite part about this trailer was the part where they said this is the end.
just over,
I
it's
just
over.
really
Very
hope
meta.
that they're telling the truth.
Well, because like they've done a lot of reshoots on this movie too, so I'm wondering because of the deal that's happening.
If they wrapped it up.
I wonder if it's partially because yes, they want to obviously add some stuff to the story, but I wonder if also part of it is like we need to wrap up this X-Men franchise because it is going to Disney. Kevin Feige's going to take it over.
Yeah.
You know, Hugh Jackman got his swan song with
Yeah.
Logan, and everybody was like, "That's great," and Patrick Stewart as well.
Yeah.
The rest of the older cast kind of got theirs in X-Men: Days of Future Past.
Yeah.
It is sort of a bummer that a lot of really young, talented actors were in X-Men Apocalypse, which didn't connect with everybody. And then they're doing this, and it's such a big and important storyline, but it's also going to be like shoehorned, like, and this is
One
also
movie.
the last X-Men movie, which is like,
Right.
well, we did that with Logan. Like everybody emotionally said goodbye to Hugh Jackman.
That was
you
like
know.
it for me at least.
This-
I'm like,
yeah.
yeah, bye X-Men.
This is like this is like the series finale of like Saved by the Bell, the new class. It's like we don't care about the new
No.
class.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
this would be bad if it was Screech and shit. But this is like if you're like this is our last day. It's like well, I don't know who you are.
Bye people I don't know.
They
Yeah.
can focus on, in this trailer at least, the older cast being like, Charles messes up, and that's a classic trope with X-Men.
I like
They
that.
said
Yeah.
Charles.
I like that.
How many
Yeah.
times have we seen
Right.
Magneto go up to like unwrap his mask
his
or
helmet? Yeah.
break something and get? I'm like, all right, we've seen this in 4 movies now.
It's time to put the helmet
Yeah.
back on.
Again.
Like, yeah, you wear it every
and
day,
again.
dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But in seriousness, I do like the idea of them like actually having the challenge thing that Charles did, because Charles needs to be checked on his shit. Like
Yep.
it's because he is equally as scary as Jean. Jean's way
Yes.
more powerful, but like he's still like you saw in Apocalypse. They used him as the megaphone to speak to everyone's brains.
Yeah.
Remember?
Yeah. Right.
I do remember that part. Yeah.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
then so you need to check him on that. And I do like Michael Fassbender's line about being like, no, stop apologizing because it doesn't mean anything
Nobody
anymore.
cares.
Yeah.
Nobody cares about your speeches.
And to be totally
Very
honest,
meta.
Michael Fassbender, you should be in like 7 jails right now. Like 100%. Like every movie is like, uh-oh, can we trust them?
Yeah.
Magneto, kill.
Yeah.
Save you, kinda.
Kill,
We're
kill.
brothers.
I won't kill you this time.
Yeah.
And we're cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, I'd love it. He's my favorite character in these movies.
Yeah.
Right behind Quicksilver, because that's actually
what?
the only reason I
Yeah,
want to go
Evan
see
Peters definitely. I was like, all right, Quicksilver, you won me over.
Do you
Yeah.
think they'll outdo
Yeah.
themselves with another Quicksilver scene? Because
I
I
hope
don't think
they
they
go balls
top.
to the wall.
They
like-
didn't.
This is
they,
Kimberg's first time directing.
Yeah, but
so I
he
don't
was.
know.
I mean, he was there. He was around for
Oh,
the
no,
Days
he's-
of Future
yeah.
Past scene and for the Apocalypse scene,
Yeah,
which
yeah.
a lot of people liked that
he's
scene.
written a
in
lot of these X-Men movies.
for sure. So, I mean, now it's become a trope of like
Yeah.
now it's become a tradition to try to outdo their Quicksilver.
I hope
little
they go
scene.
out with a bang. I hope it's like a half-hour long sequence.
Yeah, just all
And
slow
just like,
motion.
yeah, just
great
all
s-
slow-mo.
If I could
Oh,
take
got it.
time
Yeah.
in a bottle, and he just like fixes the movie.
Yeah.
Oh, he fixes the whole timeline. Like he
Yeah.
goes
Yeah.
back in time,
Yeah.
Yep.
and all of a sudden it's just like, in my MCU.
And
There you
then
go.
and then at the end of the movie he
Captain
stops
America.
and he's in Disneyland and he's like,
Yeah.
oh
Yeah.
shit,
Yeah.
I
And
fixed
all of a sudden
it.
he turns into Aaron Taylor Johnson. You're like, what?
he kills him, takes his place. He's
That's
like,
right.
no,
Yeah.
now we're siblings.
Now we're good. We're good.
Scarlet
we're
Witch
good.
is like, Dad, and then Michael Fassbender floats in.
See, it does work on
It
paper.
works. It works.
We can make it work.
Yeah.
Comics are so dumb.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think totally. I like what I saw. Like, yeah, sure, it doesn't
Yeah.
have a lot of action, but like that's why they make like 3 trailers for these stupid movies. So we'll see. But yeah, I think we got this, and we got New Mutants. If New Mutants comes out, they're saying it'll come out. I don't know.
It's not. I guarantee
it's not
you
supposed
it's
to come out
not.
to like August of next
It's
year or
not
something,
coming.
right?
That movie's
it's a
not
long
coming out.
time. And then like, are we gonna get an X-Force? Will Drew Goddard ever even get to
No,
make
that
that?
movie's not.
That boy keeps getting those Marvel movies just taken away from
I
him.
know.
Poor kid.
It's like 3 times
Yeah.
now.
He was
We're
like,
gonna give you the
Spider-Man,
Sinister
what else?
Six.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
Psych.
perfect.
That's right.
And he
Gotcha, bitch.
You should have stayed with Daredevil. You should have stayed
Right?
with him. You were
I
right
know,
there.
I know.
Somebody brought up who Jessica Chastain's character is, and somebody
Yeah.
there was an article talking about, because this is like a spacefaring
Yes, the first time they've done this.
that they could dabble with the Shi'ar, which I don't know if that deals with the Dark Phoenix story, but in Legion, weirdly, Shi'ar gets like a name drop in the middle of the series,
Oh,
which is
that's
kind of
great.
fun.
That's great.
And that's it. They never
Yeah.
like talk about if aliens exist or anything like that.
Yeah.
It's just like, is this Shi'ar technology cool? So it's like that's something that the X-Men can play with, which is kind of
Yeah.
That's cool. That's cool.
I know some
Yeah.
people were even saying like maybe she's a Skrull, and that's how they could tie it in because
God.
the rights are
Oh,
owned. And I'm
sweet
like,
Jesus.
oh my
sweet
God, that's so much.
Before we move on, Hector, Adam, we had a $20 donation, but there was a question attached to it. Matt,
Yeah.
do you mind bringing that up?
Let's see if I can pull it up on here.
No,
Okay,
Adam,
or Adam-
pull it up.
okay.
He's got it. He's got it.
But yeah, thank you for the
yeah.
$20, by the way.
Yeah, thank you so
Um,
much. Yeah, I love Jessica
Hey, that's
Chastain.
us.
Hey, it's us.
She's such a good actor.
Yeah, who do you think she could be playing?
I think she's Lilandra of the Shi'ar
Yeah.
in disguise, and she's like a bird alien person.
Xavier's
it was
love
the
that.
annoying ranter asking,
Okay.
isn't Dark Phoenix, by the way, thank you for the $20 tip.
Yes, thank
you.
Isn't Dark Phoenix pointless? It could be a good movie, but with the Disney deal, what is the point? Also frustrated that Kinberg said that they are moving forward with Gambit. Why is this still alive and multiple man?
I'll tell you what the point is, guys. If you're looking at this movie and going, what's the point? It's just going to merge into the Disney thing.
Yeah.
Like, what's the point of watching any movie?
Right.
Because
Right.
every movie can potentially be rebooted.
Yeah.
So if
And
you go
bought
like,
out the next day.
if you're gonna not go see Venom because you're like, what's the point? They're just gonna do another Venom in 15 years. It's like, why are you watching movies? Any movie at any time could get rebooted for any reason,
Right.
or merged or whatever. Also, you could get hit by a bus. We're all gonna die eventually. The sun will burn out. The universe will rip into nothingness. So like, if you're gonna think like that, take it to the point of all the way, which is there's no point in doing anything ever because everything is pointless.
Yeah.
So why not go see a movie and see if you like that story for 2 hours? Like that's what the purpose of that should be. Don't focus so much on like the chronology. What's the point?
But do you feel like now there is a lot of pressure for studios to like look at Venom, for example? It was hyped up to be a rated R Venom movie.
Yeah.
And now it's like, oh, it's gonna be PG-13 for the potential crossover with Spider-Man.
I think
like, can we just
so.
let movies be movies?
Yes, we can, but at the same time, I don't know what it is. What's the secret sauce about the MCU? I don't know what it is because they're doing the same thing everybody else is doing. The difference is that the Marvel Studios can trick fans into thinking everything they're doing is for creative reasons and because they love the characters. And I believe it's for creative reasons and they love the characters. Where they
it's also because they're consistently successful.
Correct, but like everything that they do, every decision in every one of their movies is either to serve that story there or to serve a story potentially later. But it's still kind of if you watch the Infinity War with the commentary, it's brilliant. And you've got the screenwriter, I think it's Christopher Marcus, is it the guy's name?
Not
I
Stephen,
think.
Is it just Christopher Marcus?
It's Christopher Marcus and Stephen McFeely are both on there. So one of the two are saying like, they keep reminding us a scene does two things. Every scene does two things. The scene where Thanos and Gamora are talking, it's like it's propelling the narrative forward about the Infinity Stones, but it's also revealing the relationship but like every scene is kind of doing two things.
Right.
So like I don't feel bad for studios if they feel like they have a pressure to keep thinking forward because like this studio is doing it while still fooling us into thinking that it's all to serve the story. So it makes me feel like just serve the story. Like, do I think Fox has a pressure? I have no idea. It's all corporate stuff. It's all way above my pay grade. I have no idea what they're thinking. And if people are upset, like, why did they say that Gambit's still happening? It's like, dude, what would you do in his position, in this guy's position?
Yeah, exactly.
They have to go do press for this movie. They have to go answer questions about this movie. Like, it's all stuff that I don't think people really consider. But if your concern is like, everything should be like Marvel, that also shouldn't be the case. These movies should be able to be movies. I just happen to think it shouldn't be hard to do that extra stuff. Because I'm used to it being a comic book reader. You know what I mean? It's like it's not hard to just, again, leave the door open for stuff. To me, it's not hard. So, I don't know.
To you, it's not hard, but there's people who are in charge.
They can't wrap their brain around it.
They just care about the action figures.
They care about the action figures and they care about the bottom line at the end of the day.
The X-Men franchise is proof of that because from the beginning, from the first movie, they were not thinking ahead. They're going, this is going to last us 10 years. They're like, we'll do one. And then they got to do a second. They're like, Nightcrawler. And then that's it. And then they got to do a third, and we're like, we don't know what we're doing.
Also, but just think about how movies think about how movies were before that, though.
Yeah.
Like, major, huge franchises have tried, rarely made it past the third one. Look at Jaws. Jaws was a blockbuster first movie and then just went to shit.
Jaws 2 would have been a sure thing.
Yeah.
Terrible.
Of course. Yeah. So that I don't blame higher-ups for thinking that way, but now we have a formula that's like, we have 10 years of movies. We got 23 films. Like, we're killing it all the way down. That's never been done in the history of movies before.
It is going to be 23 films. Oh my
God.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah. And there's no sign of stopping at this point.
And I love all of them. I mean, not all of them, but I love
a majority of them.
Yeah. I love about 95% of them.
Yeah.
Speaking of a franchise that will never die.
Think of all the Netflix shows and all the Agents
Hulu.
of S.H.I.E.L.D. and
Jesus Christ.
ABC.
And Freeform.
And Freeform.
We couldn't forget Freeform.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Freeform.
It's the gift that keeps on
ABC
giving.
Family.
That's right. That's right. I still have not watched the majority of those because who has 55,000 hours in one day to devote to all these damn shows?
Not this guy. This guy.
Speaking of franchises that will never die, I liked the first trailer for Bumblebee.
Listen,
I was very surprised.
I'm excited for this shit.
But this is the one that I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm actually very excited for this Bumblebee movie. What were your thoughts on the first trailer?
No, I loved it. It was. So last night is one of the worst movie-going experiences I've ever had.
What? Oh, no.
I absolutely. If you would, here's a little teaser. If you want to find the last night episode of my podcast, I just exploded. It was like,
Oh, wow.
It was just like, I absolutely hate that movie. A man answered his phone on speakerphone in the
Jesus
theater,
Christ.
and I didn't care. He was, because we were in those recliner seats, and so he kind of like laid it right here, and he was like, hey, what's up? And it was
Serious?
yeah, they were.
for the last Transformers movie.
Yes, and it's so long.
Yeah.
And I tried to go to sleep in the movie, but I couldn't because we had to review it. But I was like, no, I gotta stay awake.
Yeah.
But then I did fall asleep, woke back up. 10 minutes later, the scene's still going. And I'm like, how could this movie be happening? And how is it the same thing over and over again? How are they doing this?
Oh
but I
my
did like the
God.
fourth one, though.
Which was the one?
Sam. The fourth one was the first Marky Mark.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
That's right.
that was the one that I was like, I'm out.
Age of
and
Extinction.
I did not see the fifth one.
Dinobots.
Yeah.
Oh, is that when they introduced the Dinobots in the last 5 minutes of the movie?
It has the best ad placement ever. It's when the Bud Light, they crash into a
That's
Bud
right.
Light truck, and then there's cell phone footage that I think that an intern had to get of Bud Light bottles on the ground, and then I don't know what happens. Marky Mark just starts chugging a whole bottle of Bud Light in the middle of the movie.
Like as he's doing mechanic work or something like that?
No, it's just
like after they
spite
crash in the middle of the
somebody.
city.
Yeah, it's super weird.
It's so dumb.
Oh man,
I remember. The only
Light
thing I
dog.
remember from Age of Extinction was we drank a bunch before we went, and I slept through 95% of it.
That's a
and
good
I was
way
very
to
happy
see
about
these.
it.
Oh yeah, I
It
think I
was
remember
real
you
bad.
saying
It was
that.
real
yeah.
bad.
I didn't see
So,
that.
With that being said,
I do enjoy the
let's
first trailer.
hope that this. So the stuff we saw at Comic-Con actually looked really cool as well.
Yes.
And it gave a really good vibe. We talked a lot about like this Iron Giant sort of vibe to it. So let's see if that continues with this trailer.
Okay.
I'm Charlie Watson. I'm 18. Today, actually. Is the Beetle for sale?
She's a great actor.
She is.
Yours, kid. Happy birthday.
Cool.
Such a calm reaction to that.
Yeah.
Who are you?
I love the music choice in these trailers.
No idea where he came from?
No idea.
Well,
Here's the deal. People can be terrible about things they don't understand. From now on, the only person you can show yourself around is me. Oh, I'm good. No, I'm good, thanks.
Cute.
All of them.
Whoa.
there's a war raging on our planet. If this criminal isn't found, that war may find its way here.
Cool.
Is there anyone that can help you? Do you have a family?
I think that was Angela Bassett.
Yeah.
It was. Yeah.
Oh, who would me?
I love that animation.
They're calling an army.
I've seen firsthand. These things really are.
There's Optimus.
That's what we saw at Comic-Con.
Yeah.
There is only
Oh,
Dude.
Oh, he's
dead.
You must protect Earth and its people.
Yeah, that's what's up.
My back, me!
This is how we stop them.
You've got me. And I'm not going anywhere.
Hell yeah.
Wow.
Oh, that's
what
cool.
a sequence.
That's
Holy
cool.
shit.
That's cool.
I'm so screwed.
His little
cute little
That
ears.
2.5 minutes was the best
Delightful.
Transformers movie made so far.
Yes, yes.
This will
Combined.
easily be the best Transformers film.
Yes.
Yeah.
The answer to the question of why were all these movies so bad, the answer is
So this one could be good.
one name, 2 words, Michael Bay. It seems is the key because you put talented
Travis
people
Knight,
that know
yeah.
how to deal with human emotion.
and
who are
animation
empathetic humans.
directors who
Animation
are an
directors.
untapped like resource in the Hollywood world.
This is going to make me cry. This movie will make me cry.
Yeah,
and
I
it's
know.
easily
Yeah,
going to be the
easily.
best one.
Easily.
Kubo was like one of my. When did it come out?
So
2 years
good.
ago? 2 years
So
ago?
good.
3 years
Yes.
ago?
Yeah.
Kubo and the Two Strings was amazing.
Yeah.
And it was like watching that movie, you're like, this director understands the nuance of like performance and emotion because of how intricate the motion capture, or not motion capture, the stop
motion
stop
animation.
motion animation is. they're crafting performances, so it's like you really understand what that
You
means.
have to understand
planning.
the characters.
Yeah.
It's planning.
What were you gonna say?
Oh, I don't know. I'm just gonna go off of Kubo. Like, there's that cover of "While My Guitar Gently Weeps" that plays in my car on when it goes on shuffle, and immediately I'm like, "Okay, gotta switch this." Cause I'm gonna start crying.
So I was thinking about Monkey and Beetle and fucking
I got stuff to do. I'm gonna be on camera.
Also, like the animation, just like how creative he was transforming, because it was like, how does he get through the door? Oh, he transforms like a little bit.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, that was so
transforms.
cool. Yeah, like why wouldn't he be able to do that? Like,
Yeah,
why is it only the
exactly.
two things? Or like the helicopters that turn into cars that turn into transformers.
Yeah.
It's like, why wouldn't they do that?
Right.
Also, John
Right.
Cena,
Right.
great. I'm excited about
Right.
it.
He was the best part of that Comic-Con
I
panel.
didn't see him. I didn't see him.
It
The
was-
part I
it was
really liked,
amazing.
the thing that was really clear
Oh,
that
you
it
didn't
was,
see. I
yeah,
get you. I feel you.
the thing we're so excited about, the action sequence wasn't even that impressive. All it was a woman running towards us,
Yes.
and two robots fighting.
Right.
The reason we're blown away is because we knew what the fuck was happening.
Yes.
And the camera wasn't.
I can tell what's going
That's
on.
what-
Not a clusterfuck.
That's what made me go, this is like a fuck you to Michael Bay. This is just like, hey man, this is what this should look like. Like,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
you're invested, and
and
this
you
is-
can see everything, and I know what exactly is happening.
Yeah.
He talked about that a little bit in the
did.
Comic-Con panel.
Yeah.
He talked about like
director.
why he made the choices to bring the G1 characters and the G1 designs.
Colors.
And he was talking about colors, and he was talking about how the human eye can't even register like that many movements inside of a machine or like a character. And so he was
No.
like, it's just too confusing
You
visually.
don't need 1,500 parts
No.
to transform
And
from
I
a
will
robot
say,
to a car.
The first time that happened, you were like,
Oh, yes,
Yes,
of
yes,
course.
It's awesome. It's awesome.
awesome.
But then by the time they got to the fourth one with Marky
Yeah.
Mark, the robots are just popping into their
Yeah,
thing.
they're just
Because it
like
was some
plop,
bullshit magic
plop.
where they're like, now we're a
Yeah.
robot. Now we're a thing.
Yeah.
It sucked. But
Yeah.
the whole Comic-Con panel, it felt like they were doing like what's the word? Like PR, like they were doing like QC,
Yeah.
where it was just them trying to convince an audience, like, no, this one will be good,
Yeah.
and everything you disliked about the previous movies we fixed, but it was Travis Knight saying it in a way that it felt like it was all creative decisions,
Yeah.
even if
Right,
it wasn't,
right,
and it just still felt creative
Yeah.
because that guy knows how to talk about the
Yeah,
movies
yeah.
he's working on,
Right.
and that's
Right.
the way you do it, baby.
So
You just-
everyone's screaming
Gotta
at us in
fool
the
us.
chat room to watch the international trailer.
Is there an international
so
one?
we'll watch it.
Oh, you
Here
pulled
we
it up?
go.
Oh,
Okay,
you
let's
found
do
it?
it.
Yeah, I
Oh,
found it.
shit.
I'm on board.
Am I going to cry?
probably. It's all in French.
Is it really?
You must be Bumblebee.
S'il vous plaît, I'm here for you. Oui, oui.
Where's Optimus Prime?
Oh,
We saw
shit.
this at Comic
Yeah, we saw this at Comic-Con.
Yep. That's so sad.
he's probably fine. I like that better than him driving by on the freeway.
Like, oh, I like that one.
Oh no, Charlie.
I want the Beetle. I'll work here every day for a year.
Yours, kid.
Do you speak? You sound like a little bumblebee.
Oh, that's
The
adorable.
only person you can show yourself around is me. So let's say we're driving and all of a sudden, somebody's there, hide!
She's teaching him how to be a transformer.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can fix it.
Oh my god.
I pray this message finds you. Our war rages on.
The voice mentioned a war.
Whoa.
You hiding from something?
Yeah, we're about to see Cybertron, y'all.
The criminal from our world is hiding on yours. If our common enemy isn't found,
We'll burn the whole planet to cinders.
Okay.
Lots of deception happening here.
Ah.
B-127. You must protect Earth and its people.
Yo.
Thank you.
Run! Do not run! She ran.
He's funny.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm into it.
Oh no.
No!
Bumblebee. What have you done?
I'm so screwed.
That's adorable.
That's great.
Yeah,
That's great.
Yeah.
That's gonna make us cry.
What
that
an
was great.
amazing reason to explain why his name
Yes.
is Bumblebee.
Bumblebee.
Yes.
Because he sounds like a little bumblebee.
Because he's just buzzing around. That's so cute.
Bumblebee.
You have
Yeah.
to say it
It's
that
better
quietly.
than being like, huh, you're alone? Solo.
Bumblebee.
Oh.
Come on, Sam.
One little criticism of that movie. I liked it,
You're
but
alone,
I think
Bumblebee.
that's a little
Yeah.
sweeter and
Yeah.
it feels more natural.
The
Yeah.
director also talked about why the Decepticons look a little bit more like the Transformers we've seen in the Bay movies, and he said they had to add a little bit more geometry and a little bit more like complexity because they turn into three things.
Yeah.
So
Which makes
that's
sense.
why they're designed differently
But
than
like
Bumblebee.
that
is.
explanation, I'm like, oh, I get it.
You're like,
I get it. Okay, cool.
proceed. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. I dig it. All right.
Yeah.
I'm glad we got to watch that though.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
no,
was
That was
great.
great.
I've been excited ever since that first trailer. I was like, man, I'm really on board emotionally with this movie, and Haley Steinfeld is great.
Yeah.
And I think
So
I
good.
think there's just something different, and I think it's again going back to Travis Knight, making a movie like Kubo, all that emotion, and having a different type of leading character. We've had we've had like Sam Witwicky, who was, I don't know, he was just kind of like a wimp who kind of turns into kind of this hero, and Marky Mark
learns.
being Marky Mark, you know, for 2 movies. I like having someone who's a bit more like emotionally invested. You know, I think it's a nice change.
No, I forgot about that.
Exactly.
Oh,
What have you done?
That's so weird. Oh,
So weird.
but
yeah.
he does. You know what? Shia LaBeouf does learn parkour pretty quick.
He does.
Yeah,
He does.
I mean, it's really easy to learn, though. Have you ever tried it?
You're right.
Like,
Yeah.
overnight, you
Have you
can
seen The
become an
Office?
expert.
Parkour.
Yeah. Parkour.
That's
He's
right.
basically a scream that is a person. It's
Yeah.
just constantly
Yeah.
just like
Yeah.
Exactly.
Optimus.
But yeah, I'm all about this trailer and I'm all about this movie. I can't wait. It's only a couple months away.
Right.
I'm very
Guys,
excited.
Marcos Estrada says Creed. Can we end on that? Can we watch the Creed
Wait,
2
how many
trailer? I
more do
haven't
we
seen
have
it.
to? How many more do we have to watch?
That's it.
That's it. Just Creed.
That would just be Creed.
Yeah.
Guys,
Can
I'm
we end
nervous
on that?
about Creed.
Why?
Because I love the first movie
'Cause it's
so
not
much.
Coogler.
Because it's not Ryan Coogler.
Who's directing it?
I don't know.
Steven, name escapes
Spielberg? I think he's
No.
okay.
Steven Spielberg. Then we're cool.
It was
No,
Stallone
I'm-
for a set.
Yeah,
it was for
Stallone
like a hot
second.
minute.
Pause
it was,
Pause it.
I'm trying to.
Well, look, I got you.
For a hot second, it was Sylvester Stallone. He was writing and directing. I'm kind of glad that he didn't, because as much as I love Sylvester Stallone, and actually I really like Rocky Balboa, I feel like Stallone has said everything he needed to say
Yes.
about Rocky.
Yeah.
And I think with Adonis Creed, I think it's now time
Yes.
to pass it on
Let
to
somebody
directors
else
of
tell
the
the
new
story.
generation.
Agreed.
Stephen Capel Jr. Capel
Stephen
Jr.
Capel
Okay.
Jr.
Yeah.
Uh,
And I think, I'm not 100% sure, I think he was a friend of Ryan Coogler's.
Okay. I think our buddy Mark Ellis said this the best, where he
Mm.
was like, I want to watch this trailer, but I'm afraid of the 18-mile run it's going to make me want to go on as soon as I'm done with it.
Yeah,
so
yeah, yeah.
Hell no.
this is going to
Yeah,
get
yeah.
me jacked, dude.
I need to watch Creed 1 before I work out. The
Yeah.
entire movie. Then,
Hey,
then
man,
I
I
can
can't
go
wait
work
to
out.
cry in the theater with you again.
I know. Yeah. Adam and
so
I were
good.
little
Yeah.
puddles of
Well, it's funny
because
because we went into it and we're like, oh, this is gonna be great, it's
Yeah.
gonna be great, and we walked in and we didn't really know what to expect, and then
and it just hits you with
an
emotion
hour into the
immediately.
movie,
Fucking
an hour into the
face.
movie, I'm like, bro, you crying?
yeah.
Bro, fucking crying. Are you crying? Fucking crying.
Like, I felt my seat shaking because I was just like,
It was amazing. It was a great
You
moment.
had a good man cry.
So let's check
Yeah.
out this trailer for Creed 2.
Jesus.
Right.
So ripped.
I want to look like that guy.
I want to get thrown by him.
Then we wouldn't exist.
It's time, kid.
Oh my God.
It's like nothing really matters to him right now, including me.
You gotta think real hard about this. You got people that need you now.
I'm taking the fight.
Victor Drago, son of Ivan Drago, who infamously killed Apollo Creed, appeared today to issue a challenge to Adonis Creed.
Don't do this.
I ain't got a choice.
That's the same thing your father said, and he died right here in my hands. That kid was raised in hate. It's dangerous.
Jesus Christ. Battle ropes.
He broke things in me that ain't never been fixed. It ain't worth it.
It's not just us anymore, Dave.
I want to rewrite history.
If you want to fight this man, that's your business. But don't pretend this is about your father.
Oh shit, son.
This here is all about my wife, my kids, the life that I live. Through the night, I was his. It was right what I did. My ups and downs, my slips, my falls, my trials and tribulations, my heart, my walls.
This won't be the end of me. Or you. It can't be, because we're a team.
Now you know what you're fighting for.
Oh boy. Round after round, you learn more about yourself. And when I stepped in that ring, it wasn't all about me.
Oh man. I mean, it looks good.
So,
it looks really
it looks
good.
so epic and
The
somber.
cinematography looks amazing.
Yes, I really like that shot where they cut really quick from Drago to Creed,
Yeah.
like just their shirts. I was like, oh, that's dope. Hopefully whoever. Well, who's this guy? Steve
Steven Caple
Steven
Jr.
Caple.
Or Caple,
Hopefully,
yeah.
if I heard that Coogler was like, oh no, I'm giving this guy my write-off. I'd be like, okay, cool. That looked really good. I really hope it lives up to the name.
Yeah.
Also, they're mentioning the DMX track in the
DMX. That's who it was.
It's DMX.
And okay, so I just recently started actually trying to take working out seriously, and I'm working with a trainer occasionally. So he brought out the battle ropes. I'm like, oh yeah, see these like the
Battle ropes are tough, dude.
So you do one, and you're like, oh fine, and then you go do another thing, come back, you're like, wait, hold on, my arms don't hurt, but I can't make them do it anymore.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking
It's
that,
nuts.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I know.
It's
Those battle
crazy.
ropes are freaking crazy.
We're going to have to do a double feature. We're going to do Rocky 4, Creed, and then we're going to go see Creed 2.
Oh, I'm down.
We got to do a workout in between, though.
Yeah.
We got to work out while we watch.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
While we watch. No.
You're live, and I lead. DMX.
You're like, okay, DMX. Okay. Sorry.
Stop yelling.
That's what's so tough because Creed 1 the first Creed was so damn good, and it just had so much to say about Rocky and Adonis and the franchise and kind of what it means in legacy.
If Creed 1 is a 10 and this comes out to be an 8, I'm still going to be happy. That's still cool. Like
Creed is still. If I walk out and be like, Creed's still better, but Creed 2
Yeah.
was still damn good.
Yeah.
Then
I'll be okay.
very satisfied.
Happy.
Very satisfied.
I'm not really into Rocky. I've seen enough Rocky movies, but if you try to name characters, I wouldn't be like super knowledgeable about it. So the first one was perfect, where it's just like their relationship, and that's all you really need to know.
That's all you need to know.
So and then this, you're dipping into the history, which is not bad.
Yeah.
But so I'm a little worried about that aspect.
Sure.
I'm sure it'll be fine, but I think it would behoove you to rewatch Rocky 4 if you've never seen it, or to rewatch it just because the Sly Stallone, Ivan Drago, because he loses Apollo, so Rocky loses Apollo in that one, and then it becomes about Rocky versus Drago.
It's not even that though. It's like Rocky relearning how to be Rocky. So he
Without
leaves
Apollo,
the gym and he starts working out in the snow and he's just like
so great.
trying to find himself
my
again,
God.
which is cool. It's a really good movie. But all you need to know about Drago is that he's just like this high-tech Russian super soldier guy.
That's right.
That's all
He's Captain America.
He's basically
Russian.
Captain Russia. Yeah.
I can't wait
just
for
like
Creed 3 where it's like the son of Clubber Lang. Like Mr. T's like training him.
I hope it's the actor that played him in A-Team.
He's just got like a taller mohawk.
It'll be that guy.
Yeah.
It'll be the BA in A-Team.
That's right.
Him as the son of Mr. T. Yeah,
Exactly.
do that.
Comes out.
What a cool crossover.
I know. But all right. So that's going to wrap it up for us. A longer show. But Sam, thank you so much for being here.
Dude. Thank
Please
you.
tell
I hope you
everyone
had fun.
where they can find you.
I
on
had
the
a blast.
interweb.
This was really, really fun to dive into this. Also, thank you for pointing out the international trailer. Thank you for that.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Because that was really good. But you can find me at Sam Bashor, SAMBASHOR. It's spelt wrong. I know. That's how it is.
It is.
And also, Only Stupid Answers. Just go to onlystupidanswers.com. Listen to the podcast. If you like nerdy stuff, you should check that out. Also, Thursdays, before we do you guys do this stuff, 4 p.m. at twitch.tv/Playnoggin. We do a show where we talk about like big news stories. We play some games. It's a fun time.
See, there you go. You can watch their show, then you can roll right
Then you
into
can
our
hang
show.
out with us.
That's right. Hector, where can everybody find you?
You can find me on the internet at Hector is Funny.
Hey, I'm very excited about 500 Greats podcast coming out
October 1st, baby.
Halloween.
October 1st is going to be Adam
Adam's
Flavick.
triumphant return.
Finally on it. We're talking
His
Halloween.
debut return.
Great episode.
Yeah.
This guy knows everything about that movie Halloween. Holy shit.
I love that movie.
saw the new one.
You saw it?
What?
Yeah. You saw it already?
You went to TIFF, didn't you?
No, it
or
was
Fantastic Fest?
Yes. We'll talk about it after.
Oh God, we have to talk about that.
End the show. End the show. End the show. Where are you? You tell them
You
quickly.
can find me
quickly.
getting drunk in Berlin. That's it.
Yeah.
Nice.
Adam Haddock,
Kaiju walking in like, the fuck's going on here?
Saturday, noon. Tune in, twitch.tv/HyperRPG. I just pissed the dogs off. I'm so sorry. Good night. Get us out of here.